Tech Natural is inside. We bring a proper like cover, helicopter like loud like a chopper bite. Block still the watertight. These Cindy Lauper types on skill, just a lot of hype. Hit them with a boxer's right. That make them drop the mic. We bring a proper like cover, helicopter like loud like a chopper bite. Block still the watertight. These Cindy Lauper types on skill, just a lot of hype. Hit them with a boxer's right. That make them drop the mic. We drop a hot one, pumping like a shotgun. Number one spot, there, but we got a lock, son. The toss the key. My thoughts run deep, approximately a clock speed. Mach 3, hypervelocity sound. Tear it up and break it down. 1 week later, they might as well hate us now. So we built a foundation on solid ground. Cause haters huff and puff, try to blow us down. We're not slowing down, in fact, we getting quicker. We used to flow ill, now we diagnose sticker. Taking natural, yeah, we elevated. So far ahead of the game, now we feeling segregated. Cause competition, yeah, we got them frustrated. Cause they a duplicate, we custom made this spit. Yo, they got hip hop suffocated. It can't breathe, we just here to resuscitate it. We bring a proper like cover, helicopter like loud like a chopper bite. Block still the watertight. These Cindy Lauper types on skill, just a lot of hype. Hit them with a boxer's right. That make them drop the mic. We bring a proper like cover, helicopter like loud like a chopper bite. Block still the watertight. These Cindy Lauper types on skill, just a lot of hype. Hit them with a boxer's right. That make them drop the mic. Attacking supernatural, launching airstrikes. From the intro, it ain't a fair fight. No, just when you thought you were prepared, right? Bringing skills short like Frodo's and no like a butter knife, but don't cut it. Mediocre MC still got the game flooded. It's overflow from the engine to the carburetor. We got them sweating, breathing heavy like Darth Vader. Now they're trying to settle quick like an arbitrator. By talking smooth like a phone sex operator. I bite the style, but it has no flavor. We're here to stay, so hate us now or hate us later. Still kick the data with soul like Taylor. So pack it in and abort to the layer. Cause hiding out's the only thing that'll save ya from the wrath of the warpath. If you don't know the half, it's the two best, do the math. We bring a proper like cover, helicopter like loud like a chopper bite. Block still the watertight. These Cindy Lauper types on skill, just a lot of hype. Hit them with a boxer's right. That make them drop the mic. We bring a proper like cover.
Yeah, and I got the wrong banner up. Look at this.
2021. Somebody didn't come prepared.
I messed up, man. That was it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens.
This is not the banner it's supposed to be.
There wasn't even supposed to be a banner. It's supposed to come straight to us. Yeah, I had to send him the chat, the background. What is up, people? Welcome to another episode of the O.O.C. Off Our Chest.
If Josh would just get with the program and get a green screen or something.
We need to get Josh.
Oh, I have one. I just have to go.
Damn right. Josh needs to get his green screen up, but we'll take care of that in the future. But man, what a start for 2021. You know, I told these guys, I was like, listen, we're going to do 2020 in review. We're going to talk about all the things that happened, you know, George Floyd, all of that stuff. And then I seen what was happening in the States. And I was like, you know what? I think this is what we're going to talk about, because like I have said, this shit has me fucking heated.
And we have some assistance, you know, with our two brothers on the bottom there.
That is
our
correct.
American brothers could give us some insight, because, you know, as much as we're shocked, they're living the truth, man. So
that is correct.
Everybody.
And some of our peeps on the side there, I'm sure you're going to help come to share.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That is correct.
I see that chat active.
I know, and I hate to say it, but I may lose some subs with the things that I am going to say. And I am okay. Piece, and I am okay with that, because, listen, man, if you are black and you support Trump, you should be ashamed of your fucking self. I am sorry. That is just the way I feel. I know somewhat few that do. You know what I mean? Josh, you're on the fence, but you're still a cool guy. But you should be fucking.
Well, you haven't even heard if he is or if he isn't, though.
I'll let him get. Now let you make your point.
Josh,
make your point.
You got
to for you, okay?
I'll get into my part. No, it's okay.
I'm not saying anything about you, bro. Nothing like that, because we talked, we had conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this fucking shit that is happening, you're seeing pictures of guys walking through the fucking Senate or Congress, whatever you want to call it, with Confederate flags, and Trump is tweeting shit about them being great patriots. What the fuck does that tell you? No one can come and tell me that he is not a fucking racist piece of shit anymore. They can't do it.
I condemn. I do condemn that. I condemn. There's certain things I just have to look at, whether I'm conservative or right or left or whatever. I'm more conservative. Everybody knows that. That knows me. But you just have to look at things at face value and say, I condemn that. I'm not with that. And definitely, one thing I condemn 100%. Before Chris, I know you're like anxious.
I have a question for you.
Okay. I condemn violence though. In all facets, I condemn violence 100%. You have to.
You and every one of the senators that's still objecting this election. You know what? I'm going to say, and I know I'm not calling you out on this because no, you condemn violence, but you know how many people are in that Capitol that was just overran just a few hours ago that are saying the same thing as you are, but they're still objecting to this, which is only giving what he is saying more credence, which is literally them saying the same thing that he did just a few hours ago, saying, oh, okay. You finish because I got shit to say.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I want him to finish his point.
Oh, I was going to get to that too about the election. So another thing, if you know me and if you've ever played any type of game with me, I play video games, card games, all these things. I'm a very good sport. If I lose, it's fair and square. I reach over the table or whatever. Or I say something to you. I shake your hand. I say, hey, good game, man. That was a good game. I lost. There's nothing I can do. I'm a realist. The playoffs are starting in the NFL. I'm very aware the Patriots are out. They're done. They lost. It is what it is. It's time to move on. And also, our political party, we lost the election. Like, I'm just aware of it. And that's it. There's nothing to say about it. There's no need to investigate. I have to tip my hat and wish the best to whoever's in office. And that's what I would say. So I'm not in denial about what's going on. I am a realist.
Hold on, guys. Let me
go ahead. That's okay.
No, just what he's saying. You're like that because you have morals and you're respectful.
Thank you.
That's
it's true.
Exactly.
For me, right? You're gonna and I posted this on Facebook. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. Those were his fucking words. That's what he said when Black Lives Matter and all those things, you know what I mean? We're protesting and fucking doing things because of the shit that was happening to us. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. When these people are fucking breaking down Congress's door and you're calling them patriots, you are a fucking racist. I don't give a shit. If you want to unsub for me for that, you can. I'm speaking my mind. I am telling you, this guy is a piece of shit.
I still love you guys, by the way, man.
Yeah. I've voted Republican before. I was almost going to vote for McCain before he got what's her name on his ticket. I mean, I don't vote straight ticket. I think if you vote straight ticket, you are disservicing yourself. But first off, what Shifty said, I don't necessarily disagree that I think Antifa had anything to do there today. I think they might have been. I think Antifa is, it's not about what side. It's about the instilling anarchy. So of course, why wouldn't they have been there? But then again, Trump will call them out when it doesn't serve his purposes, but he'll use them when it serves his purposes.
Chris, can I interject for a second? I'm just curious about one thing. You said that like you've previously thought about voting red on the ticket. Have your ideals changed, or like the way you feel about the Second Amendment, or like abortion or whatever? Have those ideals just changed as you got older? Or because you usually you go either
no, I have always
blue.
Okay, listen, I when I was in the military, I spent time doing security and stuff for a couple senators here in the state of Missouri when they'd have their like big parties and stuff, like their election parties and things like that. And I know people on both sides of the aisle. No, not think I know. I know them. Family knows them. Things like that. You know, if I wanted to, I don't necessarily have their phone number, but I could get it. And I feel that if I know who you are, I have a better idea of why you vote the way you do. And if I have a better idea of that, it doesn't really matter to me if you're red or blue. That's not the point. It's about why you're voting the way you are, what your morals are, and things like that. And I have met Democrats who are spineless, gutless wonders. This is the same as I have with Republicans. And to me, I vote for what you're standing on. And if you don't stand for that, then I won't go to reelect you. And I am, if anything, more of a what they would call federalist, or a centrist federalist, but not a federalist. I want government to stay out of my business unless it's something that's their job.
Well,
I don't want them to get in.
That's more a Republican thing. Government staying.
It is. It is.
Guys,
but the thing is,
can I give you guys a Canadian perspective?
I want that too, because I know you guys have the same parties, but it's a little different.
For me, it doesn't really matter what party you're in. If you're an asshole, I don't want you there.
Absolutely.
So I don't care, because like when I'm hearing the beliefs of Democrats and my friends are turning on me, I can understand, because some of their beliefs are not mine. I think they're a little bit too. They're the new wave that's making life very sensitive. I believe. Got to sensitize everything. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
No,
Republicans are trying to keep, the order of how it was, but it's not about the Republicans anymore, because this guy is defacing that party.
Here's the thing: you have a president right now who has never claimed he's a Republican. In fact, he's said he is not a Republican. He used the Republican ticket. He used the Republican ticket to get there. And now here's the other thing. Okay, I hate to say this, but the one that originally was the first in Congress to state that he was going to object was Senator Josh Hawley, and he comes from here in the state of Missouri. I am absolutely livid with this spineless wonder. This guy doesn't even deserve to lick the boots of anybody, because he has disgraced this state long enough before this even started. And anybody in this state, even as Republican as this state is, who votes for this idiot, deserves to see the fact that he was waving to these protesters before they started today. And he walked in there and he said, I don't condone this, but I'm still going to object to this. Anybody, like I said earlier, anybody who, no, he said he doesn't condone the use of violence. There's a better way to do this, and it's in this house. The thing is they're using, Trump has made them use this objection tool to show loyalty to him. And in doing so, it's not teaching the people who just attacked our Capitol today anything, because all they're going to hear is that he's still objecting for the president, that there's still a reason that they need to fight. Anybody in there, I'm telling you right now, our president should be brought up on treason because he incited this riot.
100%.
And anybody who's up there right now objecting, anybody who's objecting this right now.
You're freezing out, Roberto.
Okay, good. I thought it was me. I thought my internet was
freezing out.
Anybody who's objecting this in Congress right now should be lined up behind him, because all they're doing is stoking his fire for him.
And
go ahead.
No, I just want to say, Shifty said, don't generalize everyone that showed up today with those that raided the Capitol.
Not everybody raided the Capitol. Not everybody did. I understand that, but still.
At the end of the day, there's a bunch of racist people there. It's not just because they didn't raid the Capitol doesn't mean that they didn't have a part of it. You know what I mean? They're not racist. Come on now. You had a bunch of good old boys there. What were they called? The good old boys? Yeah, Roberto was
Proud Boys. Proud Boys.
Proud Boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I just don't understand I mean, I'm not normally on Mitt Romney's side, but what he said today, just a few 30 minutes ago or so about this, was absolutely true. That
you are correct.
Anybody who sits there and acts like he didn't lose doesn't understand how this goes. He even said, it's not fun to lose. I've been there. Gore won. Al Gore won popular vote by a long shot. And he still lost the election. And he himself banged that gavel and gave the presidency to Bush.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that he didn't go to the course and try to get the recounts and stuff. No, he did the same thing. And Trump is allowed to do that. But now Trump's taken it to a new spot because nobody would listen to these baseless claims. I'm sorry, folks. Every damn court he went to, he lost. When it came to election fraud. He won one case, and that was because he could prove that they weren't letting the people checking the election as it was being counted close enough. He won one, but it had nothing to do with election fraud. His own Supreme Court won't hear it.
Absolutely.
And so now the Congress seems to think that they should be able to do this. No, that's not how this works. This is all a parlor game, what they're doing right now. Tomorrow when we wake up, if they get through all these objections tonight, and that I swear to God, they had to go through these objections in the 5-minute speeches and all that this time because the objection had already been posted before all this crap happened. So they have to finish out this road. But if anybody objects after this point, I swear to God, they should just be fucking thrown out of that fucking place.
I agree.
Because this is all a dog and pony show, what you're watching. They don't have a choice. It's been decided. It is going to happen. This man, Joe Biden, is going to be put. Exactly. So why are you even bothering with it? You're wasting people's time. And I'm telling you this, the longer you sit there objecting, the more chance you're giving these people to rise up and try to do it again.
Absolutely.
Don't tell me for 1 minute that if Donald Trump, if they had succeeded in getting a hold of any Republican or any representative or senator, that Donald Trump would have come to their aid. Donald Trump, the people who are sitting in there right now objecting to him, Donald Trump told those people to march on the Capitol, even with those people who are supporting him still right now were in there. He didn't care what happened to them, if anything did. And if he for 1 minute believed that those people, the ones who did get to the Capitol, who did get in the Capitol, if he had actually believed that it actually would have helped him stay in, he might have marched with them. But no, he knew better, so he went and hid in his own White House.
So it's just
he didn't care about the people in the Congress building or in the Capitol. He didn't care about the people who he sent marching on the Capitol. If 50 of those protesters had been shot dead on those Capitol stairs, he wouldn't have felt different one way or another. He doesn't care about the people who care about him. He doesn't give a crap about anybody but himself. And these people are still fighting for him.
I have to add to that. Oh, no, go ahead, Anzo.
No, and I was just going to say, like, I didn't like Trump before he even got elected president.
Thank you very much.
You know what I mean? So I don't want people to sit there and think, oh, because he's president. No, I did not like him before that. My friend, one of my good friends, he came to me one day. He's like, yo, I got something to show you. So he came to me with this video, ACN, right? And he showed me this goddamn video with Trump supporting it. And he's just, yeah, it's Trump supporting it. We're going to be rich. We're going to be rich. You know, it's Trump. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck about Trump. You know what I mean? Like, Trump don't give a fuck about us. Like, I don't give a fuck about Trump. So I never liked Trump from before this shit happened. And now he's president, and every time he speaks, it's just like, you're a fucking prick.
Yeah, I was going to add to that a little bit, Anzo, and it's kind of a realization, if anything. A couple weeks ago, you know, because I get a stimulus down here, and I know, Chris, I'm sure, I don't know what you get, but when they were talking about the 600 versus, you know, Trump came out and he said, I want to give the American people 2,000. And, you know, I don't like the fact that we're giving this money to Egypt and this country and that country and this country. At first, I'm like, well, yeah, sure. You know what? I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait and see what happens and get 2,000 instead of 600. But I realized that, you know, it's all a pony and game show, and that whole plea to get more money is a desperation plea to. I'm aware of the little things now. I'm more what's the word I'm looking for? Focused, and my senses are in tune. So, first, like I said, that was a thing where I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm fully in support of that, getting more money, but it is what it is. We got 600, and I'm okay with that. Chris, what about you?
First, let me say this, Khaled. Shit, he said they were fucking terrorists. You are absolutely right. They were terrorists.
And can I say something to what Shifty was saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not.
What's up? You getting that feedback too?
Yeah.
No,
I think that's
LEG. LEG, your gate
right.
is.
He's on the waves, man. I can see the sound waves at the bottom there.
Just like with some of the Black Lives Matters thing, there are people there for the right reasons. There are people there for the wrong reasons. I'm not going to say that isn't the case for what happened today, but anybody who got through that barricade, who ran over those fences, a person who is there for the right reasons will stop when they see, even if it's knocked over, they're going to be like, "Ooh, I'm not supposed to be there." I'm sorry. They closed down the Capitol to visitors months ago. If you go past those areas, you're doing wrong. Not everybody went past them. There were people there who kept their distance. Okay, fine. They're not terrorists. I'm not calling them terrorists. But anybody that got on those stairs and started breaking windows and started going in there, a woman was killed today.
But hold on.
Let me just
only for being there.
The same people that are saying they are not terrorists, right?
This person has a name. Her name is
when these Black Lives Matters things take off and you send like little groups of fucking instigators that go in there and cause a bad name for everybody.
Yes,
but the same table. It's the same table. Now you see how it feels when you're on the other side. I'm sorry if you're there and you're speaking, you're allowed to speak your piece. Yes, it's not one nation, right? You speak your piece. But when the majority is doing what they're doing, you fall under it. This is what society's done. You need to see it, to know it and feel it, to say, hey, it ain't right for us, so it ain't right for them. And if it is right for them, the picture's painted, man.
Yeah, I know.
Just to add to that, right? The person.
Sorry, guys. I had to say that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Lost my internet and everything. I was really flamed, man.
Her name is Ashley Babbitt. She is a Trump supporter, and she got killed today.
That's the one who tried going through the window?
I don't know if that's her who was a window, but that's her.
Only one person got shot, and killed. I was just watching it on TV. This guy had filmed it on his phone.
Yeah.
And he was more or less giving an outlook of what took place. Now, nobody but her tried to climb through that window, even with a gun pointing right at it, because you could see the gun. You don't see a hand, you don't see nothing. You see a bit of that gun. And the minute she makes a movement towards that window, she's out of the picture, man.
Well, I mean, but still,
it's fucked up.
The things that were written
that person's life, whether or not she's there for Trump or for somebody else, whether or not she didn't deserve it, and she wasn't. Of course, you get caught up in the moment, whatever. But her life is on President Trump's hands.
Absolutely,
for sure.
And I mean, is that an emboldened statement? Yes. Am I quite possibly calling our president out? Yes. And I said our president because I'm sorry, I'm not one of these people who doesn't call him my president, because I'm sorry. The way it works in the United States is once a president is elected, they are elected. I don't disagree with that, but I'm not going to sit here and say he's not my president, because he is. I'm an American. I have to answer for how he's acting right now.
I don't.
Well, I know you. I know you don't.
Thank God. Shifty-gism said so were the people last summer. Yeah, well, maybe there were some people in there, Shifty-gism, but if you're talking about the protests, they were not fucking terrorists. Like, get that shit out your fucking head. These people were trying to fucking bring light to us getting murdered by fucking cops.
2 months
and getting off.
2 months ago.
What about 7 shots?
The media, 2 months ago, the media was only CNN, MSNBC, and quote unquote liberal media. Now it's Fox News, it's all these other news agents. It's just because they're not going with what Trump wants to be said. So Newsmax is what you listen to now, and all this stuff, and they're only going to give you one side of the story. Now, is CNN absolutely, without a doubt, the most
credible?
Biased.
They're all news is biased. I hate to tell you guys. I hate to tell you that all news is biased.
That's why you have a choice. You find which one appeals to you.
And that's the thing. I watch Fox, I watch MSNBC, I watch CNN. I watch them and I take it all with a grain of salt because I know they're going to tell me what they want me to hear, what they want me to believe. Huh?
You watch CTV?
No, but seriously, going to what Chris is saying though, we have to be very careful because social media and all these outlets, they manipulate what the truth really is and what people say. This goes both ways. It goes both what Trump says and what goes what, back with Black Lives Matter. All you saw was all the negative at one point when Black Lives Matter, all the protests and stuff like that. They were only focusing on the protests. That's all you saw. But did you see the positive things that were going on?
No.
The proper.
It doesn't stimulate enough viewers.
Protesting? No, exactly. It's called clickbait. And that's what the media wants you to do. That's what social media wants to do. They want you to start clicking this shit to make people get enraged, get pissed off. And what that happens, it creates a lash out and it creates all this confident division, right?
Momentum.
Exactly. And what government likes, what do governments like, believe it or not, when there is division, it's easier to maintain and manage.
Absolutely.
When people are one and united, you cannot totally control the people.
Absolutely.
And that's what's going on. And was what happened today. And it proved to show that the United States, as much as they say they're all proud and powerful, they're not. They just showed a great weakness today to the whole rest of the world, saying, look at them, how divided they are. Like we said before, it wouldn't surprise me if China and Russia are right there with their notebook going, that's all we have to do. Oh, no problem. Let's put another dummy president into office and manipulate that too. That's my 2 cents.
You know what? And that's a good people's perspective. I mean, a good majority of people, because, I thought, when Bush got reelected, I was like, are you for real? Like, Bush is harmless compared to this guy. Now, I understand, you wanted a different taste. You wanted a non-politician. You wanted someone who wasn't corrupted or wants to fill their pockets. Well, fill in their pockets, that's the wrong guy you picked. Absolutely. Because that guy, when he got in there, that's his main intention. And he's showing you now by raising funds, but where is it going? Can't justify where it's going. The fact
at the moment right now.
But what's scary, Chris, before I forget, I'm sorry. What's more scary for me than anything is that when you look at that Georgia election, and I was telling my wife this, when I saw the results, that it was 50.2 to 49.8. That is fucking scary. And I'm wondering how many people saw those numbers and had hairs rise on their neck like I did, because we may witness something that we haven't seen in our lifetime. Another civil war, and the weapons are a little crazier now.
No,
bro,
you're not going to see that, because I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm not surprised, Chris. I wouldn't be surprised. That's all.
No, listen to me. You're okay. So the other day, I heard on the radio, Newsmax, which is Trump light TV, because trust me, as soon as he's out, he's going to start up his own news and media. We all know it's going to happen. And if he goes to jail, if he does, it doesn't matter. But somebody in his family will keep it going. But here's the thing. Newsmax, that's his base. So of the hold on, let me get my numbers straight before we go much further. And
I will just say, while you look that up, I will just say, remember, Trump already said that there will not be a peaceful transition.
I know.
You know what I mean? He's already put that out there. So not only that, right? This protest that was happened today has been talked about for about 2 fucking weeks now.
Yep.
Now, if that was a Black Lives Matter shit, you could see the pictures. They showed it online when they had
Did you see what those guys were wearing?
Military was there.
Did you see what those guys were wearing?
Yes.
Some of those guys were, I don't know, the alien ship was behind the building. Some of the outfits that I saw these guys wearing, I'm wondering why the military isn't wearing that. And that's what I wrote on Facebook. Like,
yeah, okay.
Because it looks like those bullets would ricochet off of that suit.
Exactly.
So Trump amassed 74. We'll round down. I know he'd hate me to do that. He'd be mad, but whatever. I don't care. 74 million votes. So Newsmax is his base. And I'm gonna go off of generalization here because I know this isn't exactly 100% true, but it's a good measuring stick. Of the 74 million, 30 million watch Newsmax, and they call themselves the only place you can get the truth about Trump. That means 30 million people is his absolute base. No questions asked. I believe Trump 100% because you don't watch Newsmax if you believe anything else. You just don't.
That's the new Kool-Aid.
44 million aren't on that list. That means 44 million voted for him because he had an R next to his name. That means you have only half of his votes. It's still doing it, LDJ.
Yeah, still doing it.
What is it doing? Tell me real quick.
It's like, surging. It sounds like
a
static surge.
Yeah, a static
surge.
Yeah.
I think it's that radioactive glow.
44 million people only voted for the R, not the T. That means a quarter of these people are really going to go, and if there were to be a war, would actually think about trying. Majority of those people don't even know what they're getting their hands into because our military isn't going to be split like it was in the Civil War. They were split down the middle because the South didn't want to live without slaves. The North didn't necessarily believe we shouldn't have slaves, but they didn't believe that they should be treated the way that they were. So it split everything. When Lincoln went and emancipated the slaves, the South succeeded and took half of that army that was the United States with them.
There are also a lot less people, and also just like if you didn't join the war, join a side, you were going to die. Literally, like
the majority of Americans are not on board with what Trump is doing right now. They may have voted for him, but they're not on board with what he did and what he's doing. So this is not going to cause a civil war, and anybody who tries to raise arms is going to fight the full force of the United States military, and it's not going to amount to anything. It'll be a bloodbath.
Yeah, Chris.
Common sense wise, I'm with you 100%, Chris.
Yes.
But what I've seen over the last 4 years, what I've seen over the last 4 years, I would not put nothing aside.
I'm not saying I'm not saying they wouldn't try, but
some inner terrorist group is going to start.
That's fine. That's fine. Look what they tried to do when they tried to kidnap the governor in Minnesota or Wisconsin or where was it?
The whole thing that's scary is
no.
that these guys are doing it.
You didn't hear about that, Josh?
News, they're getting locked up.
No, I didn't hear about that.
You don't hear no.
What?
I heard about it.
What happened? They tried to kidnap who? What governor?
There was a kidnapping plan where they were going to kidnap
Spanish governor.
Yeah, the governor,
the female Spanish one.
Yeah, in Michigan or Michigan, not Montana, Michigan, Minnesota, or Wisconsin. One of those.
One that Trump is always calling out.
Yeah, I think it's Minnesota, and they uncovered this plot where they were going to take her and one other person from the government, take them to a kangaroo court, and they pretty much had the proof in writing with these people that they were going to kill these people.
Oh my God.
That's what he's inciting, but that's such a small group. Look what happened.
Yeah, I condemn that, man. I condemn all
There's
that
enough people in our government. They're jumping ship right now. They're starting to jump ship from him because they realize that he is off on a cliff by himself now.
Roberto, if it makes you feel any better, I might have voted red, but I'm not going to join the Civil War or whatever, the next Civil War.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
I don't see that in you. I don't see that in you.
But that's what I'm saying. The majority of these people are like Josh. They voted because they're conservative, and that was the person that their ticket provided.
But the conservatism, does it cause you to be somewhat blind? Because again, like I said, I have beliefs as well.
I think so.
But if I see the guy who's leading is not on the same train as me, I'm not supporting him because he supports the party of my beliefs. He's not doing what I want. He doesn't represent me.
Even
he's
I have
lying in the face of the public and
100%.
telling you he's
Yeah.
not lying. Now,
Constantly.
so what do you got to be smoking or drinking to understand this? And one more other thing. I have some friends who are really good friends, and I really, really beg them to try not to bring up this conversation because I feel they're kind of like Jehovah Witnesses, you know? They just, sorry, I'm not trying to help them to do any damage to them, but they enforce their thoughts on me.
Yes.
They enforce it on me. Like, and when they make this comment, oh, what news are you watching? Well, what fucking news are you watching? Who certifies your news? Like, how could you insult me like that? To say what news am I watching? You think the news sways my opinion?
Exactly.
If it isn't fact, it's fiction. That's me. If it isn't fact, it's fiction. And if they're not showing me evidence, like they're showing me a tape of you saying this, and then you're saying you didn't say it. How could I even fathom to believe this guy who says he didn't say it when you're on tape saying it? That wasn't me. Oh, it couldn't have been him then because he said it's not him.
Exactly.
Like, is this a fucking skit on Saturday Night Live that's repeating over on a loop? It doesn't make sense, man.
And I agree with you there, because even with me, sometimes, like, just because we watch maybe different news doesn't mean we're sitting there watching the news fucking believing everything they fucking say. It doesn't mean that. We're smart fucking dudes. We're able to say, well, that doesn't really sound right. You know what I mean? Or if they're saying like, well, he said this and he said that, but they have no video proof of it, then I'm not going to sit there, oh, well, Trump said this and Trump said that. No, you got to give me the proof of it. You know what I mean? You got to give me the proof that he said.
Yeah,
you can't just say it like that.
Tell me something, Josh, and I'm asking you something about this because, so you have a couple senators who came out and chastised the Secretary of State of Georgia for recording the obvious attempt to change an election. I don't know. Trump was smart enough, and I hate to say that, but
not to give direct blackmail.
Not to absolutely go so far. He said it's just going to be bad for you. It's going to do this. Well, what does that mean? Okay. Well, here's the thing. There's people now that were calling this guy out for now. If he released it, I don't know if they've actually announced who released it or not, but they're calling him out for recording it. Well, I'm sorry. If I'm involved in something that I think is nefarious, I would want to record it. And in Georgia, it is as long as one person knows it's being recorded, that is all their state requires. He point blank made a phone call to a person he has no business calling. Presidents call governors all the time. They do. But why the Secretary of State? But there's people who stood by his side and called out the person who recorded it. Well, what'd you want them to do? Are you saying it was okay for him to do? It's like, I'm sorry.
Well, that sounds like
Trump is making Nixon look like a choir boy right now.
Yes,
that sounds like getting mad at.
You know how many times I've said that, Chris?
It sounds like getting mad at the assassin after instead of the person that put the hit out on the person.
And that's what I'm saying. But
I don't like.
But here's the thing, Nixon had a great political career, and even after he resigned and he was pardoned, he was a person who understood politics very well. He just got a little too paranoid for his own good. He was going to win his election, but he decided to send people to check the Democratic National Committee's office. Bad news, fell over. It all fell down on top of him. But this man, he was a patriot at heart. He didn't even try this type of thing. He knew when he was wrong, and he went. And yes, I understand. He waited to the last second to resign, but he did so because he knew that was what the country needed. Trump can't even give people that little bit of dignity left. He's going to sit there for 14 more days as his whole freaking cabinet leaves, as they all alienate him. And he's still going to say 10 years from now, if he's not in prison, and even then he will, that this was stolen from him.
Serve 1 day in prison.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, nobody really did.
Wait. Time out. You know the only reason why I say he will is because, much like the Ray Fisher thing we talked about, when you keep pushing the wrong buttons, it's all going to come down on you. He has pissed a lot of people off. He's pissing Republicans off. They will have votes that they could do things to him. And plus, here's the thing. He can even be pardoned at a federal level. But New York wants to come after him. George is going to come after him for this phone call. He's pissing off the wrong people because he's trying to subvert what they've already decided on and what they've already passed. Yeah. And again,
how about all those families that lost people because he wouldn't move because of fucking COVID-19?
That's what I'm saying. He's culpable for so much. Something's going to stick. This isn't like the Hillary Clinton thing, and believe what you will about the emails or whatnot. I'm not going to debate that with you, okay? If she did it, she's wrong. She should have gone to jail. Sure. That's the only thing they ever tried to push on her. They tried Benghazi. Okay, I'm not going to say that wasn't mishandled. Well, I understand all that. But here's the thing. They only had a couple things, and nothing ever really stuck. They've got tons of stuff that they can keep coming after him for quite a while, namely the IRS.
I've come to the realization I think most of them do need to go to jail, but like Guster said, they won't. Like, I'm talking about all of them. I don't care red, blue anymore. Yeah, I'm starting to realize
I think that Trump is on an island because he's not one of them. And much like he says, he's not a politician. That's his kryptonite. He isn't one of them. And he's pissed off the establishment.
That's a good point.
They're not gonna disgrace the president of the United States. No matter.
He's not. Oh, come on, LEG. You think that?
I don't think anything. I'm thoughtless. They're not gonna make a president of the United States look bad.
Oh, they'll make an example out of him because nobody cares about him.
It doesn't matter. It's not the point.
Oh, I'd almost put money down on that.
You don't want your president to look bad in front of the entire global.
Oh no, it's okay for it's okay for the federal. It's okay for the United States to look bad.
It's a little too late.
He's making us look bad as a country, but it's okay for us to look bad as a country, but not for him as a person, because that's who they're going to attack, not the president.
A president that makes fun of a kid with disabilities, really?
I mean, you make it sound like Americans looking bad is a new thing.
I'm not saying that, but he's point blank purposely doing it.
Are there countries who hate us?
Yes, like the Middle East.
Being American.
The Middle East actually has a warrant out for Trump.
I just seen that
whole Jerusalem thing.
Yeah, I seen that.
For me, when I was growing up, the United States was the police of the world. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there all the time. I wanted to be like them. I was so in awe of America.
I think all of Canada kind of was. You know what I mean? It's like
it's a total opposite now.
Yeah.
It's the total opposite, and it's sad because there are some states. I mean, I have a lot of American friends and you're great people. But the ideology of me going over there and making jokes that I already have a kit with my own handcuffs. I'm going to throw my hands out the window, handcuffed already to avoid getting clubbed or shot. And, say I'm Canadian, say whatever. When you break it down to realism, why would you go there if you have to do these things? How do you call that a vacation? How do you call that getting away?
Bro, there's places as a black man that we cannot travel to.
I've already experienced that, and I didn't know. I felt it. And my boy told me we're not supposed to be here. I'm like, I don't understand that. This was in Jersey.
Oh, Jersey.
This was in Jersey.
Yeah, but with all due respect, there's there's cases where I can't go, that I'm not supposed to go. So it's not just a black thing.
No, I'm not making it just a black thing. And I'm sorry if I'm giving it that stereotype. It's not just that.
Okay, all right.
We have to look at it at a different level, you know, because I mean,
everyone's gonna watch their ass.
I don't see anybody doing what I see my friends do here. You know,
I'm in New York, so everybody.
Fuck you, cop! Why are you pulling me over? I've seen guys say that to police. Fuck you! You have no fucking right to pull me over. What the fuck you want? Like,
sure.
Could that happen to any black guy in the U.S.? Any? I don't care if you're an NFL player. What?
I get pulled over a lot.
No, Josh. What I said.
Oh no.
I understand. We all get pulled over a lot. But could you actually talk to them and tell them, fuck you? You have no right to pull me over. You're pulling me over because I'm black, and you're there arguing for an hour. Could something like that happen?
Maybe if your camera's out and you have it on Facebook Live and you let them know, hey, listen, I'm live. But I wouldn't.
How many times have I seen that recently? That guy who got shot 7 times. The guy got shot 7 times.
Jacob.
Wasn't that on multiple cameras? The cop got off.
I know.
Who cares if he had a knife? Did he show the knife? Do you see anywhere where he lunged at the cop? He made an attempt. He had his kids in the car, man. He got shot 7 times and the cop got off. Where are you going to make me understand that? Please.
And bro, there were so many different ways they could have got him down without shooting him in the fucking back.
Yep.
Do tasers not work anymore? Don't they exist anymore? Shoot 2 or 3 tasers in him. Let him do some worm on the floor, but let him live to see another day, or go to court and maybe get off because he's innocent. These are the things that I don't understand.
You guys are bringing the heat tonight.
Brianna,
it is what it is. It is
Breonna Taylor's cop killers got off as well. They lost their jobs, but they got off. They had a fucking no-knock warrant that they blotched. It's facts that they fucked that shit up. And
two of the lead detectives or whatever that helped issue the warrant have been fired because they now say that it wasn't a misinformed address. They sent them to that address.
No, that's fine. They sent them to that address. But what is debated is the fact that they did not acknowledge who they were when they came into that house. Now, I don't care who you are, but if you're in your house and your door gets kicked open and they don't tell you that they are the cops, then, man, the dude shot. I don't blame him for that. But now...
Anybody would. Anybody would if you have the right to bear arms.
Exactly.
Or you're on my property.
Exactly. And now... his woman died.
What I was saying is that originally the story that they were telling was that it was misinformed and an incorrect address. I think they have now come out and stated that no, the address was correct, and that they when they went there, they knew that they were not. There was nothing there to investigate. They're kind of, I don't know what the whole thing is, but they're looking into it even more now. That something came out about that, and I'm not 100% informed on that fact, so I'm not trying to. I just know that two of the main people in that have now been fired because they.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, the one that pisses me off the most, it didn't even happen in 2020, was the Botham Jean. I don't know if you guys remember that, where he was just chilling in his apartment and he was eating ice cream. And the woman thought that was an officer. She thought that it was her apartment, which is nonsense. It's like complete and utter bullshit. It was definitely a hit. I think that they dated those two.
I got one more. One more. Tamira Rice. Those fuckers got off.
It's not even so much of how much they're getting off, Anzo. You know, what kills me is, when are they going to be held accountable? Are they ever going to be held accountable?
Which one was that?
But what are we asking for? Is what we're asking for not justice?
Wait, Anzo, which one is that?
You don't give it.
Rice. Sorry, Roberto.
Sorry.
No, this is just a very. I mean, we're all flamed up in the backs.
I told you it was going to be fire.
I have to look at Josh and calm down because he doesn't have the flame behind him.
I
have to say something.
I told you it was going to be
You're
fire.
calming me down because this is a very heated topic, and I'm glad we're having it. This is all about getting shit off our chest, right?
I have to say something though.
Go ahead, Jessica.
We have a panelist that's not here who is a police officer, and like he would say, not all police officers are.
No, they're not.
Again,
as we stated earlier,
the media focuses on the negative, right? That's what I said before. And yes, it's wrong. And justice is what everybody deserves. And I'm all for what my brothers here. Like I said, I was the minority of my friends growing up. I've witnessed it firsthand. That's why I take this thing really to heart. It's justice, and that's all that the people want is justice. Black, white, whatever.
Are getting
but
shot
the issue is
brought to attention.
Exactly, and that's the problem right now. A lot of people get misconstrued. Here we go with Black Lives Matter. No, it's years, hundreds of years of this going on, and that's all that's asked is justice. That's it.
Yeah. So Black Lives Matter. Take all of these, since whatever you want to call them, out, and just put justice.
Exactly.
Justice.
And
so
for people that today still don't get that, then you're part of the problem. That's all I'm saying.
You guys are gonna hate what I'm gonna have to say then.
It's okay. You're negative anyway.
Go ahead.
I mean,
hold on. Before you say anything, let me just explain. Tamir Rice was, I think, 11 or 12-year-old boy that was playing with a toy gun and got killed by the cops, and the cops got off. I think I just seen that a few days ago. Now, listen to me good, right? If you are a fucking human being, how do you live with that? How do you live with yourself? You know how you live with yourself? If you're a racist and it's a black kid and you don't give a shit. Go ahead, LDJ.
There are other ways. Human beings have the capability of having absolutely no remorse for things that they do because they believe what they're thinking. Like I said, there's only one difference. The only thing more dangerous than somebody who is wrong is somebody who is wrong who thinks they're right. And that's when you get these people that don't give a shit, whether it's a black kid, a kid. I don't even want to put a color in front of it. All right, it's a fucking kid.
Private chat there.
Needless to say, the justice comment. Yes, you want justice. I agree with you. I'm with you on that. But you only want justice after the matter. You know what I want? I don't want the fucking matter to come in the first place.
Prevention.
And you know what solves that? Not justice.
Education.
Transparency and accountability. And you don't have anyone. The reason why these cops get off is because they're not accountable. And I don't want them to be accountable. And I want someone who is in charge of the fucking operation to begin with to be accountable. Just like the United States Army. The Army just doesn't go and shoot people. Okay? They have generals who send them out on their missions. There is a clear path of accountability. And you got these officers doing their willy-nilly bullshit with these raids, and there's no accountability. There's no person there backing up saying, should we be going to this house with a no-knock warrant and just open firing? There isn't.
You want better training. You want better training and better education. Sounds like.
Exactly. I want every freaking anytime an officer is about to do anything that has to do with drawing a gun or raiding or whatever, to have a clear line of sight between the people doing the operation and the person in charge of organizing it and making the orders and making the calls and making the shot out, because we don't have that right now. When an officer pulls you over, do you think their supervisor is double checking to make sure that stop right now is being done good? No, it's you and him until it goes to the court after the fact.
But that's
I've gotten pulled over by a cop riding a bicycle who told me I should walk to work.
But
and it wasn't until I got an attitude and said, "What the fuck did you say to me? You know what? Arrest me and pound my bicycle or let me go to work, sir." And it wasn't until he shut his mouth, got in his car, and drove away.
That sounds shitty.
And I'm going to say this before I have to run. I I said it earlier when we were talking about this on the Rule of Three, that the same people who claim to defend police officers, who want to say that police officers are being attacked and stuff, attacked police officers today. So here's the problem: is that we have too many people saying certain things, but they don't really hold themselves to it. I totally agree with LDG. This is something that has to be. When I send somebody with a warrant, no knock or whatnot, a no knock warrant, I shouldn't have my guns out. And as soon as somebody is seen, I should stop, announce who I am, because I'm already in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But things aren't handled like that. And yes, it's a chain of command thing. And he's very right with the military side of things, is that the general sends it to the colonel or lieutenant colonel, and it goes down in steps. It's I hand it off to this person says to this person, but everyone who gets the handoff is in direct contact with the next person. And that person's in direct contact with the person he hands it off to. And eventually it goes to the soldiers, but the soldiers are watched over by a command lead, somebody like that. And it keeps going up. And yes, the military doesn't always get it right either, but there is accountability. And yeah, I mean, when you send somebody out to do something, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it means when you do a no-knock warrant, there needs to be somebody who's of a high caliber in the chain of command right there to oversee.
Needs to be in charge and responsible. I'm tired of people saying
and you're right. You're right. LEG is that the orders. It is after the fact that's when those people show up. Mm-hmm. After the person's already shot, that's when the command lead comes in and goes like, "Well, what happened?" I don't disagree with what LDG says, but
people have to become proactive instead of reactive, right?
Yeah.
So that's
we wouldn't have these situations of kids getting shot and people getting shot in their car and freaking people getting shot in the back. If we had
take care, Chris.
Later, brother.
If we just organized it better, transparency and accountability, and have something organized, not just have cops doing whatever the hell they think they need to do. Not only that, but the one of the big things that really pisses me off is that cops think that their life is more important than an innocent individual, and they're afraid to get killed. That's your job. Your job is to step between you and protect the innocent. If you die protecting the innocent, job well done. Okay, I don't want cops that are afraid to die and then will pull their gun, shoot first, and ask questions later. That's not what a cop's job is. Sorry, don't mean to get on a bank bucket.
So that's now we're talking about cops and stuff like that. Like, what's the path to redemption? Let's say for society, the police officers, for white people,
someone who knows what the hell they're doing and get in there and clean shop.
Is it a different situation up top for you guys up north?
It's not the extreme that you guys live in the United States. No, I'm sorry, Anzo and Roberto can walk down the street in the middle of the night and go to the store. Yes, if a police officer, they'll have that radar that goes, "Oh, what's going to happen? Are they going to stop me?" But
not anymore.
Not anymore. But are their lives in danger? No.
Never.
Plus,
not. Yeah.
And plus, their horses might be a little tired. No, I'm just messing with you guys.
No,
their red outfits might be a little too tight.
In Florida, it's rough, guys. I've had an officer pull his gun on me twice, and I don't even own a gun. I'm completely unarmed. 2 completely innocent situations, and I had a gun pointed at my face twice by a police officer for no fucking reason. I can't go 3 blocks up my street with not only are we I'm not even in a bad part of town. Like if I go a few miles up the road, it gets a little worse. But even where I'm at now, not only do I have to worry about the people, but I mean, I've had cops write a ticket for me when I had an ambulance hit me at a dead stop. I've been pulled over on a bicycle. I've gotten a ticket on a private property when the CEO told me to park somewhere and the cop gave me a $250 ticket. Okay, every time I've had a cop situation, it's been negative. I've been profiled. I was mistreated. I couldn't even get the damn when the ambulance hit me. Found out the reason why he wrote me a ticket is because I could have sued that ambulance for hitting me. I was dead stopped. And that ambulance was coming the wrong side of the road because they were traveling to get to the accident faster. So they were going north on a southbound road. And instead of cutting behind me, he would have had plenty of room, he decided to just get a couple cars and squeeze in front before the cars come to hit him and sideswiped my vehicle. And if it wasn't for the pictures I took that showed I had no frontal damage whatsoever, it was 100% sideswiping. There was no way I could have turned my car. And it wasn't until then I had to fight the ticket and fight the police report that obviously stated a lie because I had picture evidence. And that was the police officer that did that. I was going to a bar one night, and just because I just turned suspiciously, I got pulled over. And the guy was trying to give me I'm like, dude, I haven't even had a drink yet. I'm going to the bar. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell is your problem? And then, and you know how they do it too. How the cop, and I cannot stand how cops like act. Like the way they act, like this whole, like you're talking to a negotiator. You know what I mean?
Guilty till proven innocent. That's
exactly
what it is, though. You know why?
And it wasn't. I know why they do it because you're nothing to them. That's why.
They're all Apple users, man. They all love Mac. No, I'm just fucking. I have to bring a little lighthearted.
We all stream with Danny. Danny's a cop. Danny's a cool dude. We ain't saying all cops are bad. But man, the ones that are bad. Shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like
I couldn't picture Danny doing anything.
I will see.
Oh,
I agree.
I can see Danny if he has to like talk to someone.
If he was in the situation,
oh yeah, I see it.
And then if you're an officer and you're in that situation, then you got to do what you got to do. But when you're pulling over just a regular Joe Schmo, that it's obvious I'm just some nerd going to have a drink or two, and you're trying to give me that spiel. Seriously? I mean, I think I've met one good cop in Florida.
Absolutely, Roberto. You know
sorry. Go ahead. I just had to blurt that out.
In my entire experience in Florida with police officers, I met one good cop, and he actually did give me a warning instead of a ticket. He understood the situation. He saw everything. He realized that wasn't some punk kid going 90 miles. You know what I mean? He realized it was just an accident. Just, all right, cool, no problem. Here you go. Here's a warning. Have a nice day. One. All the other ones, nightmares. Effing nightmares.
Well, look, I was in Florida. What's the name of Hollywood Beach? Is that possible?
Yes. Yes.
And being a guy, an avid smoker, I'm like, let me try and find some Florida boom weed. I didn't want to be the black guy, so I asked my wife, who's Armenian, to go and ask this guy if he has some weed. So as I'm like giving her the nudge to show who the guy is, because he looks like a guy who would. He was holding a Mickey. I didn't see the Mickey, right? Next thing you know, a cop on a bike pulls up. I didn't even see him. My heart started racing like I was guilty already, right? Because my intentions weren't good. Cop told him, put that bottle down. And the guy was startled. He didn't even see the cop. So he turned to the cop and said, sorry. That cop pretzeled this guy so fucking fast. I swear to God, I caught a buzz off of that movement, and we didn't even get weed. Like, I was just so shocked at the whole intervention. The guy just said, pardon me. He didn't respond fast enough to putting the bottle down, I would think. I don't even know where his bike went, but this guy was face down in the sand. Another cop came from nowhere. He was gone.
Yep. Surprised me.
For what?
And this statement here, Daniel said the police force were originally started to oppress newly freed slaves after the Civil War. That is absolutely 100% correct. That is correct. I'll say this before, I said it before, and I'll say it again. We, as human beings, are not fucking born racist. So if you can teach racism, you can unteach racism. It's just a fact.
Yes. Depends, though. There's some people who have been bred from a very young age and never really saw the other side.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that they can be taught. Like I'm saying, it's up to the parents to teach them. You know what I mean? If you're in a family where your whole family, your grandmother, your great grandmother, they're racist, chances are you're going to be a racist, right? But if there's someone in that family that can break the chain then we can unteach racism. It's just, it has to be wanted to be done. And
Do you know what's
they
funny?
don't.
If a racist family lives in a black area, the black people don't go over and break their windows and terrorize them and tell them, you racists got to move. If they do something to them, they will retaliate back. But we're never really the initiators. So you can come and live amongst us. You might get taxed a couple of times, just like the brothers are.
Right.
But there's no discrimination. Everybody's getting taxed. But we're not singling you out because you're the minority. Guy's guy grew up uptown. It's very diverse, but the people he hung with were the brothers. He probably felt more black than the brothers did because they make you feel that way. They take you in. No matter what you look like, where you're from. Like, there's lots of people I didn't meet until my later stages in life. Like my wife, for instance, I never knew of Armenians growing up. Did you?
Not really, no.
But there's if you're ignorant, you don't educate yourself enough, you could end up like that.
And see what Roberto just say, it is all about educating. And I think Daniel Fluff says it. It's our duty. It's our duty, right? And that's one thing I have to say about Canada. We make it our priority to learn about the people that are coming into this country and educating ourselves on their religion and stuff like that. And we had we had the Conservative Party at one point says, no, you're coming here, you have to adapt to our way of life. Yes, it's true to an extent, right? But you have to educate on what their beliefs are, what their religions are, in order to create a harmonious living environment, right? Because remember when the Syrians were coming in and the United States didn't want them, just for an example, right? What happened? I forgot. There was something that happened. I think, was it the H1N1? There's something that happened, and the first people to help in their communities in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, where we put those Syrians, were the Syrian people. The same people that were being called terrorists and they're cells and they're this, they were the first people to help the locals and the time of need. So that just goes to show, right, that you have to be mindful of what media says as well, right? And what other countries says as well about other people. And that's one thing that I have to say, that I'm proud to be Canadian, because when I saw that, how the United States said, no freaking way are they coming here, and they were crossing the American borders to our land, and we took them in, and they gave back. The majority of those people gave back. And that's what I found, like that made me proud.
Well, look, on this subject, sorry, Anzo.
Yeah, go ahead.
It made me cry because, most Americans have to tell their kids how to conduct themselves, and the worst that I had my dad tell me is that in sports, you always have to be 5 times better than everybody else in order to get the same recognition. Be it was right or be it that was the case, he kept me on that level. I didn't discriminate. I didn't look at them and say, oh, I have to be 5 times better. I just knew that I had to be. Now, today, with all this shit, racism coming back to a level where I've never really ever experienced it in my life, that I'm seeing, maybe because of social media. But racism's taking off again. And then it comes to my attention that the genocide is happening again in Armenia. They tried to take Armenia from them, and they were taking those people down. So I'm saying to myself, how do I have this conversation with my daughters who are half black, half Armenian, where both sides are being taken out? How are they looking at the world? I just started crying, man.
That's a fact, bro.
It's fucking scary. If you just let society hypnotize you, this stuff doesn't become, part of your life. You never stop and think. Just go to work, come home, eat, cook dinner, watch the news, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, that robotic life. But when you take a step back and do that third person perspective and really look at it, you want to close the blinds, man, because it's fucking scary. It's fucking scary what's taking place, man. And there's no repercussions. How can that happen?
I just want to say one more thing, and then I gotta go soon.
Yeah, and then Pickles has something to say too. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at this guy. I had to look up his name, Daryl Davis. Man, this is a black guy. He's from the South. He's been like trying to, improve race relations with the Ku Klux Klan, like these people who have been racist their entire lives.
I think I heard that story. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there were a couple cases where he had some people that looked at their live and just looked at this guy. This guy, Daryl Davis, is like, this isn't, these are the people that I've been afraid of my whole life, and he's changed a lot of people. Like, they just don't know, like you guys were saying, like it's like ignorance that needs to be corrected, and like you said, Geishgard, like these people need to be educated. And I think that if we could all do what like things like he's doing and just like listen to one another and hear what the other person has to say instead of rushing into buildings and trying to take over and create violence, then I think we'd learn a lot more. You know what I mean?
This is why we are doing this show, bro.
Yeah,
this is why, so that we can talk about it. You get different perspectives of different situations. Ain't nobody on this panel leaving here today and saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. You're an asshole. You're this or that." Nope. We discussing it, we getting it off our chest, and then we move the fuck on. It's simple and plain as that. LDG, you have something to say?
I'm glad you say that, because every time I want to say something this show, I'm trying not to let it end in that. It's like, I'm like, how do I say what I'm about to say after hearing you guys saying everything? They're not going to like this. Okay, let me say this correctly. You're absolutely right, movie. Unfortunately, more people want to see revenge over than redemption. All right. Yeah. And it's great that you have this guy that is turning clans members over, but you have people that rather see, just because you're a clans member, you just want to see them burn. The thought of turning them is not even an option in a lot of people's mind. I think what that guy is doing is awesome. I think that maybe not everybody's redeemable, but I totally believe that not all people have been brainwashed to be Klansmen. There are a lot of them that can be saved and realize exactly, if you watch this guy and what he's done, he's gotten people to say, holy shit. Like they see now. They're like, wow, I was wrong. Crap. And literally change people. And I think that's an awesome thing. Second, the original thing I was going to be worried talking about. When you were saying about need to unteach racism, I get what you mean. I get what you're saying. I believe it. But for those people out there who need to hear it the right way, racism needs to be taught. You need to learn what racism is so you avoid it. You need, if you just don't, and I know that's not what you were trying to say.
No, but you do have a point. No, you do have a point.
Very good point.
If you don't know what racism is, you're bound to, if I don't tell you you're about to fall in a trap, you're most likely going to fall in the trap if I don't teach you about it.
True.
Okay. And when I was growing up, this is example of the point. Anytime I heard something about racism, I ignored it when I was a kid. I was ignorant. I didn't want to hear that it was possible to judge somebody off the color of their skin. And because of that, I never learned that you never call someone a boy. Okay, never learned that. I didn't know that was racist because when I was a kid, I didn't want to hear it. I just didn't want to know about what racism was. I just rejected it outright, and that was a mistake because I called someone a boy and we got into a fight. And I went home. I was in third grade when this happened. I got home, told my father, I got into a fight today. This guy was an asshole. I was blaming this guy like, he was a bully, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Father asked me what I did. I said, okay, we were just talking. And then he said something and I said something. And then I ended with the comment, what should I call you, boy? Or no, I called him boy. And he said, don't call me boy. I'm like, what should I call you, girl? And I remember that last bit. I remember that like it was yesterday. And that's what started the fight. And Father explained to me, you don't do that. You don't call people boy. That is a racist term. And when I learned that, the very next day, I went to him. I said, dude, my fault. Father told me that I fucked up. I screwed up. I didn't mean to call you boy. I didn't mean it that way. And you know what happened? We actually were friends after that. We never got into another fight. He actually, surprisingly enough,
forgive you,
accepted my apology. We were fine after that. And we went on, and I couldn't. And from that day on, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be ignorant from racism, but I still denounce it. But if I have children, I will teach them racism, so and teach them the truth about it, so they see it for what it is and reject it. That's what I think needs to happen.
My people up north and my boy LVG down
So,
south.
Josh.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Take care, Josh.
Joshua.
Take it easy, movie.
Take care. And that's what I was gonna actually say too, right? Because you do have to teach it again, because I lost my train of thought now. But at the end of the day, like, this is what I was gonna say. At the end of the day, it has a lot to do with the schools not teaching enough Black history. Because that's where you're gonna learn your racism. It's when you get to the Black history, when you get to what the Americans did, the slave trade and all that. You get the Marcus Garveys, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, and especially here, that was basically the extent to our Black history.
You see, when I hear Black history, it kind of makes my blood boil.
Mm-hmm.
Because it shouldn't just be Black history. It should be
all history.
I get
it.
What
I mean?
I get it.
It's like,
Black
and the person that said it best was Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
He said it best in that interview. He said it best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when he goes to the Jewish guy, is there a Jewish history month?
Mm-hmm.
No, exactly. It's history, and it should be taught not in 1 month, but throughout the curriculum, right?
Mm-hmm.
When that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just wanted to throw that.
But I say Black history just to
I understand.
What
you
triggered that thought. That's
what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
he
at the
triggered
end
it with
of the
me
day,
too. But I get what he said.
It is history.
You know what it means.
We have to teach this side of history,
all sides,
good or bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're just giving basics, that's not going to help.
Danny just came into the chat. He missed it all.
And the last thing,
hey, what up, Danny?
Last thing I wanted to add to what I was saying too is I wanted to touch on what Roberto said, and this is what I believe. I don't believe racism. Okay, opinion. I don't believe racism's making a comeback. Okay, because we don't live in an environment that promotes it like it used to be. Back then, when slavery actually existed, there was a fuel, there was a generator there generating the racism. We're seeing a lot of. I hate saying Black people. We're seeing a lot of people with different races living their life, being free, et cetera, et cetera. What I am seeing, and this is tied to, I think, what you're trying to say, is identifyism. Because that is also being a race. What you identify, people are hating. There is hate for what you identify or are, whether that is a race, whether that is a sexuality, whether that is a gender, whether that is a dumb, like a nerd dumb or whatever, jock, whatever. And I think that is feeding into some racism. But do I feel that racism is like what it was back then? Like where you walk down the street and it was like every day it's just, it's okay to be racist kind of thing, like feeding racism. I don't think I see that, honestly.
But it's making a comeback, because if I look as a kid, when I see in the 60s when they said they were releasing the dogs and the cops were hitting them with the batons, I look at Black Lives Matter and I see the same thing, just different era. And I see it coming back. And the gap between the 60s and now, this is why I'm saying it's making a comeback, because in that gap, I never really seen it like I'm seeing it now. Now, I keep eliminating feeds on Facebook because it's disturbing me. Because I keep seeing Black kids being shot, Black kids being shot, Black kids being shot. So are they trying to brainwash hate into me? Or are they just making me aware of what's happening that the media is not showing me? So this is why I'm saying I'm thinking it's
not
making
100%,
a comeback.
But yeah.
And Trump basically opened the floodgates, because now these guys are coming out blatantly calling people nigger in restaurants again, calling nigger, out in public, which I only experienced in sports. So
to be honest, I wish that word was fucking abolished from everybody, and I mean everyone's.
It is what it is.
That fucking word.
It is what it is. It's being used, and it's not being used for any good intention. They're using it for the
No,
pure
but I
form
understand
of
what
it means
LDG.
to them.
I understand what LDG is saying.
I
though.
understand them
It's
too,
that conversation
100%.
we had before, right? That
I
nobody should
recently
be using
had
that
an
word.
altercation with somebody with that word recently, and it almost backfired in my face for absolutely no reason. And I hate that fucking word.
It doesn't need to be used. It's not a
It
word
doesn't
that
need to be
needs
used.
to be
No.
used in any language. I don't care. If I don't use it, I could still look cool. I could still be down. I could still be an intellectual. I could be whoever I want without using it.
Well, we had that conversation, right? Because we use it. You know what I mean? So because we use it, we make it seem like it's okay to use the
For
word.
us,
Right.
It's okay for us, but not for you.
Right.
And that's where we look wrong.
Exactly. 100%. You know, and at the end of the day, if we can't stop using it, then they're not going to stop using it. I've heard that thing already. I've heard that. Well, you guys use it. I'm like, yeah, but you know, I'm black. I get what you're saying, but I'm still black. It's not the same effect if I call Roberto a nigga. If I say, hey, what up, my nigga, it's not the same thing. But now let Geishka, and Geishka's my boy, but like Geishka say it to me, and I'm like, bro,
I get what you're saying.
I didn't say it again.
But no, I'm sorry. Listen, guys. Listen, I hate to say this, and I don't even want to talk about it, but you say that, I hear what you're saying. As much as I hate hearing it, there are plenty of non-African descent, whatever you want to call it, using that term, and the community is allowing them to use it. You have, and I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about like in the rap in the rap community. Absolutely. You have non-people that shouldn't be using that word, and everyone's letting them use it. But then when that word gets used by anyone else, they get crucified. There's a huge miscommunication. There's a huge let's just stop using it for like a decade. Everybody, please.
Absolutely right. 100%. There was an issue, I believe it was with Fat Joe, saying he should be able to use it.
Nope. Just because his ass is Puerto Rican doesn't make sure he should be freaking using it.
I didn't even want to say any other races, but you pretty much
I'll say it.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Tekashi 6ix9ine has used it.
And another fucking idiot shouldn't be using it.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's not just correcting ourselves too, but you're right. It is correcting the ones
but
that
at the same time, Marco, could you blame Tekashi if he's hanging in the hood and he's hearing that 1,500 times a day?
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Just like Geiskar picked up the uptown accent because he's hanging around uptown people all the time. Doesn't mean that he's a fake perpetrator or whatever. He's just
are you calling me a wigger?
Not me, my friend. No label.
Roberto, yes, you are absolutely right. But the issue is with the ones that are not correcting him.
There's
you know what I mean?
Well, like Danny, right? This whole it's gotten to a point of endearment. In my mind, I don't understand how that word can become a sense of endearment if it was used so negatively.
Yes,
as
there are
a
more endearment terms that you could be using.
Like I don't know, my cocoa butter queen or something, right? Something like that, or but going to
maybe
word,
not that one, but there are plenty of ones we could be using. Okay,
I need to say that.
Okay, there are other terms we could be using.
Right there, boy.
I'm just saying, right?
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
The only thing cocoa I want is in my cup during winter. Okay.
Oh man,
cocoa butter
queen.
Do you have that one written down?
No, I've said it to people that grew up with that and stuff, man. They loved it, man. It's all good. But no, seriously, I get it. I understand, but if we want to really remove the negative effect of it, shouldn't be using music, right? People are using it to get paid, and I get it. Oh, we were slaves, and I'm entitled to use it because of everything we went through, right? I get it, but if it's such a negative thing, exactly. But I mean, we as the black people, but yeah, no, listen.
But do you really, Danny? And this goes, Danny. Do you really want to keep using that word as a term of endearment?
No, Danny don't like to use it. No, Danny don't like to use it.
Who said that?
He No, Danny
just
said
saying-
that, but he's just
Yeah.
stating the fact that
Yeah.
that's
Oh, you're
how
just stating the
they
fact.
view
Okay.
it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
okay,
no.
okay. Oh, that's
Danny-
fine. I'm just saying, like, do we? Because what really because what then? But then when I'll say this is a joke. Just to lighten the mood for a second. When okay, so you have that right term of endearment, right? And then you have like say Danny and let's just say hypothetically Danny and Anzo, your brothers, right? And you call it to each other as a term of endearment. I feel left out, man. I'm like,
Why not me?
you'll never call me one of those as a term of endearment,
Not on
man.
that
So
level, right?
shit. I'll never say it back, but can't you include me?
And Easy Geshko raised his hand too because he know, right? Geshko's been around us all the time. You know what I mean?
Look,
Like he's
Check
been there.
this question. Check this question I posed to my dad when I was young. I go, Dad, why are Americans Afro Americans and in
Right.
Canada we're black
Right.
and white people are just white? And he
Right.
couldn't answer that one, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't answer that one.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely. 100%.
What? Say that again. What was it?
Americans are Afro Americans.
Mm.
Black Canadians aren't Afro Canadians. We're just black. And white people are not Afro white American or American white. So why only black people are Afro Americans? Why that
Caucasian
label?
American.
No, just Afro American, because I saw not all the brothers had an Afro. So where does that stigma come from? Afro American.
You know what it is?
Because I don't.
I don't think anybody.
Is Afro just short for African, I would assume, or
Right.
not the fact that you
But-
have an Afro.
No, it is short for Afro, but the reason why they do that is because they feel calling us black is like an offensive thing. And it's no, we are black. Absolutely.
Or maybe there
Absolutely.
was African American second tier to everything else because nothing else has American behind it. You're not Hispanic American, you're Hispanic. You're not white American, you're white. Why blacks get Afro American? Why? Only black.
I get what you're saying, and I guess
fucked
it's
up, right?
subjective. I don't like
I
being
hope
called
somebody
white.
could answer that. But imagine, oh hey, white American.
That's me.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
I don't like being. I don't
Imagine.
like being stereotyped to any color skin or any color. Period.
No.
It's
But that's me.
it's a
I know everybody
factor,
else is
right?
not like that, but that's me.
Neither
I
do
don't
I.
like being, especially because I'm Middle Eastern, so I'm not even technically white. Okay,
We are all
I'm
human.
yeah.
Exactly.
We all breathe the same.
Exactly.
We all breathe the same. We might not all eat the same. Thank God for that. But everything else, we eat, we shit, we inhale, exhale. We all do the same shit, right? So if anything makes you a little better than me, is because you can score more goals or run a little faster, and that's about it.
Or sing or some shit.
Yes,
you
you
know
have
what I mean?
a gift, a God gift.
But we all bleed the same
Yes.
fucking color.
We all
You
come
know what
into
I
this
mean?
world, we all leave. You ain't going any more special than me unless you're an asshole and you're going downstairs.
Except for those people that drink way too much Sunny Delight, then your blood is like a whole nother color.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Neon orange.
Isn't that stuff change? Doesn't that like change the color of your skin and everything?
I heard that, but
I sipped it once and I never tried it again. That is just
it's like fake OJ. That's like it's like crack OJ.
I used to like
I can't have anymore. I gotta stop. No.
I used to like it, and then like I stopped
Yeah,
drinking
same
it for
here.
a while, and then I
Yeah.
got it again, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
you know.
I could not. It was just, it's just too overwhelming, that taste, man.
Nah, the only kid drink I miss a whole lot is freaking Yoo-Hoo, man. Original OG
Who?
Yoo-Hoo, man. Yoo-Hoo.
Yoo-Hoo?
Original Yoo-Hoo. That
What's that?
or
Is that chocolate milk?
purple Welch's. Purple Welch's. Okay. two
Okay.
of them.
We still got the purple Welch's here, you know, but
Good stuff.
but you know,
Good stuff.
What about Hawaiian Punch?
No, I can't. I
Not a
can't.
fan of that
I
either.
never. Not
I
a fan.
was.
No.
I
I like it.
whatever
I don't
reason.
hate it. It beats Tang, but yeah,
Nothing,
I'm diabetic now, so I got to be careful with that
nothing
shit.
beats those 10-cent zippy bags.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Sip
sacks.
Tap was 5 cents.
Yeah. Oh, there were
Those
5
were
cents.
5 cents.
Yeah,
That
you're,
was-
you're a little older than us, Roberto.
Sugar in the bag. Sugar in the bag. Huh?
Yeah. Bite the tip
You
out
know.
of it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, guys, like there has to be some sort of change and shit, man, because this kind of stuff can't be happening. You know what I mean? Like This is the beginning of 2021. We just started. What the fuck else is gonna happen?
I say it again, Anzo.
Mhm.
What we need next is a true public effing forum.
I agree with you.
That's what we need. We need a system you can go to that if you want to look up how many people actually voted for somebody or actually is mad about something or actually says something, that you have uncensored, pure numbers, validated users to say, to look at, and not worry about Twitter or YouTube censoring you or blocking you or taking down what you're about to say or putting what you said way down on page 190, that we can access easy, fast, free, and effective. And we need someone to do that. That's what we need next, because all we're getting right now is corporate social media, and it is poison. It is straight up hurting us right now. Even your voice, the awesome show you had tonight, only got to a fraction of the amount of people that it would have gotten if you were on a true public forum tonight.
I agree.
That's true.
And this is the thing, you know what I mean? It's like you said, the media is dividing us left and right, man. You know, it's at the point where you don't even know what to fucking believe anymore.
Nope.
That's why I don't watch the news, because I'm like, you know what I mean? It's not just the news. Like, you'll go on internet and it's like, Snoop Dogg was passed away. And people will post that shit like crazy without even fucking researching the shit. The minute I see something like that, I go on Google and I'm like, Snoop Dogg? And I say, Snoop Dogg's fine, Snoop Dogg's this. And I'm like,
you got Snoop Dogg saying, yeah, I'm good. Hi, guys.
You know what I mean?
I'm
double J.
You see him on the music awards and they say, hey, how you doing? I'm supposed to be dead.
And what I said earlier about black people and Trump, you know, and you get, I still say that if you're a black person and you follow Trump, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I forgot to say it, but I have a cousin that follows him, is Trump supporter 100%. Every fucking thing she posts, Trump's gonna save us, Trump is this, Trump is that, everything. And I have a cousin.
If we pulled Danny back in.
So for me even saying that, I'm basically condemning family members as well. I'm not down for this anymore. This morning, he caused this riot. He caused a woman to die, and he should go to jail. What up, Danny?
What's up?
As you flying in here, what's on your chest? What you got to get off your chest, brother?
Nothing.
What up, Danny?
Hey, Danny.
What's up, LDG?
What up, Coco? What do you call it?
Cocoa butter cream, man.
I ain't no damn cocoa butter cream. Now you can call your woman that, but I can't be no cocoa.
I tried. I'm sorry.
You know, I saw that, Danny.
Yo, we didn't even reflect on 2020. That topic was so fire, yo.
I told you this episode was gonna be fire, bro.
Maybe we should have started with 2020.
No,
that fire was like an hour and a half, yo.
We'll do that next week.
I came in when y'all was by the gas.
Oh no,
more or less.
I got plenty of gas, man. I filled up on beans before we started. Let's do it.
You too.
Oh yeah, guys. By the way, screenshot right now, everybody. Everybody, put their smiles on. Screenshot right now. Twitter #Cocoa Butter Cream.
Okay. Well, Danny, we were talking about the situation today. Is that something you're able to talk about? Do you have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I'm just embarrassed because I'm not saying that America is better than any other country, because I really don't think that. I just think that for a long time we were leaders, and now when your leader looks like an idiot, it kind of makes you be like, oh. So I just think it's just a sad day for America, and I didn't vote for him. Most of the people that look like me didn't vote for him that I know, but I don't understand that. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense.
And
with all due respect, though,
Yeah.
I don't see his opponent doing any better, unfortunately.
Well,
You
give
know
him a
what?
chance.
So.
Give him a chance.
I think he's going to do better, LDG, because I think he will listen to his advisors. It's one
I
thing.
don't trust them either.
I ain't saying he's gonna be the best president we ever had by no means, but I think that he is going to listen to the people he put around him. If he puts a good team around him, and I don't think that he's going to cause such the divide that the other person could. I mean, it's you can almost see the line. If you go into certain parts of the country, you can see the line. Line for
I can almost agree with
line
that.
for whites.
I can almost agree with that, but I guess it depends on who's controlling the dosage of his medications.
Well, I mean,
I'm not even kidding. Like that guy is on some serious shit.
Listen, I get it. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not the best choice to take over from Trump, but someone had to. Someone had to.
Yeah, someone had to. You're right.
I understand what you said, LDG, but when I listened to him today, pleading with the country and pleading in particular with the current president, he need to stop that. And I mean, his words, he chose his words carefully. It looked like, I don't know whether he was prepped. I don't know whether this was a good day. I'm not saying the rest of his term going to be good days behind the mic, but today he sounded presidential. So that gives me hope that at least we're going to take a step in the right direction.
And the one who is still president is sitting there calling these fucking dudes walking into the Congress with Confederate flags great patriots. You know what I mean? Up until Twitter had to fucking shut down his motherfucking Twitter. They shut his Twitter down. They shut his Facebook down. You know why? Because he's inciting fucking hate. And this is the people that people are running around supporting. Trump, 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 Trump.
I'm telling you, man, if you come to where I live at, there's a big lake. I mean, a huge lake. And I'm like, when I go fishing, I'll ride by. Me and my grandsons, my family, we'll ride them. And the flags is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What, Confederate flags?
No, not that. The Trump supporter flag.
Oh, the Trump supporter flag. Yeah, you're better off having a Confederate flag then.
That's why they say it's no longer the party. It's all about him. If you look at that rally, they were all Trump flags. They weren't American flags.
Yeah, and they got the thing that says Trump 2020 stop the bullshit. Yeah. That's one of the highest selling flags. And it says it on the flag under his stop the bullshit. Trump 2020.
I didn't like though. Anzo was right though when he was talking about media controlling it. Of course, they weren't showing the peaceful protesters. They were just putting the cameras on the ones that made money. They were putting it on the Trump flags. But if you went to the Washington Monument, you saw a whole bunch of people protesting, and I believe they had American flags.
But what's going to get the ratings though? That's what they're going to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to give airtime to the bullshit. Yes, of course, in any group of people, I can show a picture of the most beautifulest, wanna embrace life picture of a flower, and you'll still have a group of people saying we'll hate it. No matter what you do, you're gonna have the group of people that are spinning it out of control, taking advantage of it, one side capitalizing on it, and it's gonna happen. But
see, media got the whole country by the balls, so to speak, because if you take the stand that you just said and don't watch it, then you're going to be left kind of out the curb because you don't know what's going on. So when you have a conversation about it, you're kind of behind the 8 ball. Then if you do watch it, then you got to watch whatever junk they put up there, and then you just got to have enough common sense to say, okay,
that's what I was saying, common sense.
This makes sense. That don't make sense.
Copper.
This adds up. That don't add up. A lot of times, if you don't know, you're gonna say. I've heard people say, "Well, I saw it on the news, or I saw it on Google, or I saw it on this." You gotta dig a little bit deeper.
Absolutely, that's exactly what we said earlier.
But how many times after they say what they saw, you hear, "Come on, man," you know what I mean?
I want to give credit where credit's due, and let me make sure that credit does not go to Biden. Those were not his words, and he didn't say anything that shocked me to think they were something. I want to hear a president say something I'm not going to already know is coming out of his mouth, and all he did is say the same damn thing any other person with a speechwriter would have said. Nothing, not one comment.
And that's
was outside the box.
And you know what? And that's fine with me because he wasn't calling those people that were inside the Congress patriots. And that's the issue. You understand? Just Trump don't give a
degrading people who don't do your wishing.
Exactly.
That's fine. Okay, I'll give him props for not doing that, but I'm not going to give him props for sitting there and saying what he said when I know those were not his words.
No, but what kills me is I'm seeing so many people bash this guy. He hasn't even sat in the chair yet. He hasn't even done one day in the job, and people are okay. Maybe he has a history. Maybe she has a history, but not as president and vice president. If that's the case, then why did Trump get it? Because his fucking history shouldn't have put his ass in that chair.
And are we not forgetting that Biden was Obama's vice president? Are we forgetting that? You know what I mean? Like, regardless of anything, he was the vice president to a black man.
He's got some policies. You know what I mean?
He may not be perfect.
He's got the experience. That's what it is.
And he may not be perfect, but at least I don't have to worry about him coming on a press conference talking about people from a shithole country.
He might fall asleep.
Talking about
they're gonna have Harris there going.
Talking about when the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Well, let me ask you this, LDG: who would you have put in the White House?
Me.
Oh God!
You should have known that was coming.
Execute Project Prometheus.
Did you think I'm kidding?
No.
I believe you. I believe you.
The president doesn't have to. The president doesn't. It's not the president's job to change the world. It's the people's job. Okay, first of all. So if you're voting for a president to do change, you're voting for the wrong purpose. Okay? It's not even the president's job to do all the work. The only job the president is responsible for is making the decisions and having the resources and tools in front of him to make those decisions and to be well informed. So
yeah, but I hear what you're saying, but the president is given a lot of power. The president gets to choose the people that makes the laws, these judges that he can put on there. And if he's a fucked up president, most likely he's gonna put fucked up people in there. So I want somebody that's gonna be fair and going to see both sides, even if he's prompted by such and such. Trump, in my opinion, and this is the opinion of just me, that he did what he wanted to do. He didn't care. He didn't listen to people that were more qualified than him, and he thought that he knew everything. And look where it got us at.
And this is what Danny, this is what I'm talking about. Because I would go up there and I wouldn't say, I'm here to see both sides. I would say, I'm here to see all sides. Okay, because there's always more than two sides.
Both sides is a figure of speech, bro.
I know that. I get what you're saying. But I'm clarifying because that's all you hear from these people. Oh, we're going to be bipartisan, this and all that, and clear defining their morals, their how they're going to be, and their version of things. And we don't have people actually going up there and saying what needs to be really said. There are more than two sides. There are the majority is only made up of many minorities. Okay.
Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
And we need somebody who goes to the presidency and is ready to not change things, but to allow change to happen, to give the tool and what's needed for the people to make this country better, not the president. Okay, like I said, laws are only for those who actually fucking obey them. Okay, laws will not fix the country. Okay, someone wants to break in your car, the lock is not going to stop them. Okay, Just like with this stupid law that they passed with this COVID relief, which gave absolutely, you know what I'm thinking? I'm honestly thinking of doing. I'm honestly thinking of burning my $600 check live on stream.
You dumb. No.
You know what I mean? Because that Mitch McConnell guy.
Before you do that, let me give you my address. You can send it to me. Okay? I'll burn it all right.
That Mitch McConnell guy, dude, it was COVID relief. Other countries got more money than we did. They passed laws that could literally change the face of social media. And the little bit about it that actually helped us, $600, so I can move back and help my parents still afford this house, charged me $3,000 to break my lease so I can come home because of this whole fucking COVID. Okay? And they haven't even given me enough money to pay them because even they don't think COVID was a reason for being, because I was 15-month lease and I had to leave after the 12 month. They charged me $3,000 and they said COVID isn't a good enough answer for us to waive that for you. Sorry, we're gonna put this on your credit report. So I could come here because my father lost his job, mother lost her job. Okay, things aren't getting cheaper around here. Okay, and we were supposed to have a COVID relief that was supposed to help us. And we're giving billions of dollars to other countries. What?
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I mean, you can't blame all that on the president or.
No, I'm blaming Mitch McConnell because the president actually did something half decent and said you deserve $2,000, and I agree with that. We all people who make $60,000 or less should get $2,000.
But did you ever
$600?
Did you ever think that he just said that because he knew it wasn't going to happen and tried to make himself look good?
Oh, for sure.
Well, he did bow down. He didn't sign the paperwork and said it was because of something, and he went against his own moral. And that I condemn him for, because if it would have been me, I wouldn't have signed the damn bill in the first place. There was way too much pork in that stimulus package.
Trump is a magician. Most magicians, when they're doing a trick, they'll show you their left hand, but you don't know what the right hand doing. At. That's when it's doing whatever it is to activate the trick. Because whenever he gets in a corner, of my observations to me, I could be wrong. Whenever they put the heat on him, it's some kind of crisis that comes up that takes your eye off of him, and you focus on that crisis. Then by the time you get back focused on there, the heat done cool down. So I think sometimes that he make this stuff up.
That's one thing I can say he's good at.
He wouldn't be the only one, though.
Yeah,
he's really good at that.
Everything that happened today was based on his fucking lie that the election has been frauded. Everything. It's all because of his fucking lies. Can I make a
small point on that?
What was going on? What was going on that time? And the guy got shot, and the whole country was mad. It was some kind of heat they had on the president at that time, and then all of a sudden, impeachment or something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, old boy got shot, and it took all the attention off of that.
There's always something. Always something.
Because you're talking about those phone calls Trump made, or
it was something that they were. It was something that was kind of heat on a man, and next thing you know, Biden. Man, old boy got shot. And I even heard the theory that he had something to do with a cop doing that. I mean, I don't even get that deep in the conspiracy theory, but I've heard that kicked around.
At this point, you never know, bro. You never know, because I say it again. I know you're good. I know what you're gonna say, LDG. Yeah, there's some fraud, but like we've said on Chris's show, like we said on Chris's show, for the fact that it had to be as he says it is, it's impossible. Every single buddy would have to be in on it, and it's just not feasible for that to happen. Not only that, which I read today, 60 fucking times, including the Supreme Court, and he lost every single time.
He was ignored. He didn't have the proof.
No, he was not. No, he was not.
It's hard to get the proof because the way they lock it up, it's hard. Listen, I know. Bro. I don't want you having me defending Trump, because I don't want to defend Trump. All I'm saying is there was fraud. There was channels that showed it. There was a Steven Crowder, for God's sakes, registered to vote in 4 different states, and they let him. He didn't actually vote, but he registered, and the sites let him register in 4 different states.
They maybe let
and
him
the states do not cross-check.
But how do you know that he would have been able to vote? How do you know that?
Because once you register, you're voting. That's it. All you need to do is register, and you can vote.
Right, but he didn't go make those 4 votes. If he had made those 4 votes, then you could say, oh, shit, maybe there's something there. But he didn't. How do you know he wouldn't have voted, and then the computer wouldn't have caught him the second time?
No, because they don't cross-check. There is no evidence that the computers in each state cross-check each other vote.
I just watched the news today. They have checked every single one of those voting polls. They did extensive research and extensive investigations on.
They cross-checked every vote.
They cross-checked everything, bro. They said it on the news today.
Okay, you send me the link so I can watch it. I'd love to know that, because you can't have these voting machines connected to the internet. It's illegal to have the voting machines hooked up to any other network. So how would they double check that? How did they do it? I would like to know the system. I want
every single machine
in my.
They check.
I need to know specifics. That's what I'm saying. I need to know specifics.
But they check.
I hear what
all you're saying is check. Like
I hear what I was saying, but I think LDG is saying, like, I'm here in South Carolina and Terrence is in California. How would South Carolina communicate with California if they don't have some kind of computer system?
Exactly. You would have to cross-check every vote across every single state or every single district.
Okay, but again, at the end of the day, right, the extent of that fraud would have to be so big that it would be
it would only have to be as big as the differential that made Trump and Biden win. That's it. One more vote than the difference between who won and who lost. Not everyone. That is not true. If he won by 14,000 votes, then it only takes 14,000 votes.
But what I'm trying to explain to you, how much people would be in on that? You understand? It would come out.
Anzo, I'd hate to burst your bubble, brother, but there are thousands of people willing to push the button on this.
Maybe so, but we're talking about millions.
I think Anzo was saying, LDG, somebody would talk and tell.
Absolutely.
We ain't heard that person say, yeah, I was in we have not yet seen the whistleblower.
Right. And the fact that there are people that count these votes that are Trump supporters, someone would have blew the fucking whistle.
Yeah.
But what about
if I see a whistleblower, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
You know what? I wish there was a whistleblower. I wish there was. Like I said, with that video that they showed where they triple counted a whole bunch of freaking Biden votes.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, LDG. Do you think that there was trickery when Trump first ran for president?
Yes. I believe there's been somewhat of fraud all the way through. Yes.
Well, let's just say
I don't think it was game changing. I think this one was like the highest since so far.
Well, hypothetically, didn't Hillary win the popular vote on that one? Didn't she have the popular vote, Hillary?
Yes,
she did. But the electoral college is what decides. I don't quite understand the electoral
popular
college.
vote doesn't really mean much.
Yeah, exactly.
But my question is, let's say hypothetically that fraud was Trump did use fraud, whatever. We keep hearing the rumor about the Russians doing this. No, I'm saying Trump when he first started. We keep hearing rumors about the Russians did this, Russians did that, China did this. Let's say they did discover that he do that. So if Joe Biden decided to use those same tactics and he won, then is it turn about fair play?
Okay. No. 2 wrongs don't make a right unless you multiply them. But I think
what about him trying to sweep up all the mailboxes?
Yeah. What your example was with the Russians had nothing to do with fake votes or wrong votes. That had to do with manipulation of information in order to persuade the general public into voting a particular way.
Fraud is fraud, regardless.
There's a difference between freedom of speech and actually submitting false votes. There's a huge difference, but there's a fine line between freedom of speech, even if it's a whole bunch of speech to try to down the other person, and actually putting in fake votes.
Well, let's say this then. because what they tried to do with Hillary, right, with the emails and everything, she hasn't been convicted. She hasn't went to jail. Nothing about that. So
she's a Clinton.
Then you can say that you can say that's a fraud.
He's a Trump.
You can say that's a kind of fraud. Right?
Hillary, yes, you're absolutely right. Hillary was using personal email accounts for business. Yes, that's illegal.
I'm talking about the fact that the Russians tried to expose that. Nothing's come out of it. So you could say we could sit here and debate whether she did that or not. I don't know if there was proof of that yet. I haven't followed it, but at the end of the day,
it's done.
Exactly.
Oh, it's done. That's what I'm saying. Trump should shut the hell up and just run for president in the next 4 years. I agree.
Jump in there a minute.
I am not.
Because I wasn't seen, I couldn't be heard. But didn't something come out about multiple votes coming for Trump from one guy?
I heard that too.
There's corruption across the board. It's only coming out because he lost.
Exactly.
That's the only reason it's coming out, because, you know, when he tried to sweep up all those ballot boxes before the election, what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
That was corruption. That was pre-corruption.
And also Trump, he replaced the federal postmaster.
Yeah, what do you call that?
And that federal postmaster set on mail in an attempt to try to slow down the mail-in ballots.
What do you guys say about that? Not that you're,
like I said,
not that you're promoting him, LDG.
I'm not. Like I said, I think both people were pieces of shit.
Okay, yeah.
It's either which piece of shit tastes better. I'd rather be.
What do you think is the lesser of two evils?
You're thinking about
yes, because last year I'd pick Trump over Clinton any day.
But what did Biden do that you would think about it? I can't understand.
Biden's incompetent.
Yeah, but Trump
he doesn't seem competent.
Oh my God,
he's not
you have a narcissistic ego as a president. A narcissist as a president.
Okay,
how could that be not worse?
And
at least
Trump isn't
we have
right either.
Okay, okay, you're right. And like I said, I agree with you. I don't like either of them. I'd rather be president. Okay, I'd rather have you, Anzo, as the first Canadian American president. Okay, you're welcome. And I'm not even kidding. That's not a joke. But
legalize it.
Oh hell yeah! Beyond legalize it. Beyond, my friend. Anywho, let's not go there.
What do you think of the vice president to be?
That's another thing that's scary too. The only way it takes a woman to be president is by proxy. And that's exactly what I see happening with Biden. But that being said, and I have nothing wrong with a female being a person of female persuasion or identity being president. I have no problem with that. All I'm saying is that it would be better if a woman won the presidency, right?
Absolutely.
Even women would have to agree with that statement. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Okay, my comment is the difference between Trump and Biden is at least Trump, the buck stops at him. With Biden being president, we do not actually know who's running the seat today. We don't know who's actually being president because it isn't going to be him. It's going to be some Geppetto pulling the Pinocchio strings, telling him what to do, say, and
I thought that was the case with Trump because he has no political experience. Zero.
Sometimes Geppetto has good intentions. All the people behind the scene aren't necessarily evil.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
That's a stigma that we have. When there's somebody behind the scenes pulling the strings. Sometimes the people pulling the strings is trying to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Unfortunately, Martin Luther King isn't running for president. Anybody who has the term, I don't trust anybody whose profession is career politician. That is the biggest oxymoron I've ever heard in my entire life.
Every politician is not evil, just like every police officer is not evil. That is the stigma, right. And that is the point that media is trying to say. Oh, politicians, they kiss babies, shake hands, I don't believe it. I don't believe every politician on Capitol Hill is evil. I do not believe that.
There's just
agree with that. So
there's more evil than good. That's why.
We need an O.O.C. when Biden picks his staff, and let's actually call them out by names.
Well, you see,
The-
the thing
Who do
for
you
us,
trust?
the thing for us, the three up on top here, we are Canadians. So it's not like we're going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, I know that person. I trust that person. Know this, right? The only reason why we're so invested in you guys' politics right now is because of Trump. You know what I mean? Right. Last term, it was Obama because it was a black president. First time in history. You understand? So even as Canadians, we were invested. But at the end of the day, for us, we are looking on you guys and we're just like, what the fuck?
Synchronism.
It was an embarrassing day for America today.
You're not
I'll
by
admit
yourself. You're not by yourself. I didn't want to look at the TV. I had a headache looking at TV.
Bro,
yeah, so did
I just say that's not a healthy orange grow.
All day I'm sitting at home. I'm naive to
I kind of
what's
think
going on.
I kind of think you let it happen. How the hell can you storm what's supposed to be the most secure
They let it happen.
place on the
thing
planet?
that cracked me up is how the social media responded. YouTube analytics went through the floor when this broke.
I'm sure.
And I'm sitting here watching the analytics. And I went from before this started and I started my show, I was skyrocketing into over 1,000 impressions. And then when that shit hit, boom, I was getting like 5 impressions an hour.
Bro, I was sitting at home. I was like naive to the shit, and I don't even know how I figured. I seen it. I think maybe on YouTube or something. I'm like, oh no, I follow. I think his name is Vosh, a guy on the internet, right? And he had a stream coming up. It was like Trump supporters, crashed the Capitol. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I watched, I put it on, I waited for a stream to come out, I put it on, and then he started showing the videos, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And then I've been on the news and shit all day. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Did they F with the stream at all, by the way? Because people got their streams literally effed with today. There were chats. YouTube shut down live stream chats for people talking about this stuff.
He went for like 3 hours.
They said they had 12,000. They activated 12,000. What you call us people? Army people.
National Guard.
National Guard.
Yeah.
Got a curfew. They said
got a curfew at 6 o'clock. They show you the reporter there. It's 7:30. The people are still standing there in front of the cops.
Yeah, exactly.
When does it come to the point where, it's 6:05, you're all under arrest? When does that happen?
They don't, because they don't have the room for it.
You don't have the manpower either.
Manpower or room.
But my thing is this, okay?
There wasn't much people. There was like 6-7 people standing there.
They were only showing you the front.
No, but what I'm trying, you guys keep cutting me up. I don't know if we were watching the same feed, but there was cop cars. The guy from CNBC was pointing. There was cop cars stretching 2 miles north and south. He goes, there's cop cars passing randomly every 2 to 3 minutes, right? But while he's doing that, you see like 6 people standing in front of the cops like this.
Because you be the first one to arrest some suckers and you be in a lawsuit tomorrow. Oh, he violated my...
Why? Because I saw people getting tongues at the Black Lives Matter march.
All right, but because we live in a world now that if you sneeze too hard in America, they'll sue you. And cops, especially cops that don't look like me, are like, man, do I touch that black guy or not? If I do that, will somebody put a camera in there and try and paint me out to be the racist? Those are thoughts that's going through cops' mind now.
But you remember when the cops smashed that old man to the floor, busted open his head? Did he sue the cops?
Hey, I ain't saying it right, bro. I'm just telling you.
I'm just saying.
Because listen, they
were told to be careful. They didn't want the pictures. The entire world was looking at that. This wasn't some incident of some protest of a TV station. This was the Capitol. They did not want to show Americans getting arrested by their own government.
But they
wanted that to be the last possible thing.
But they will show that shit.
Come on. That doesn't make sense. What you're saying doesn't make sense, LDG.
Bro,
you must be watching
it doesn't.
TVs.
Don't get me wrong, it doesn't. I agree it doesn't make sense, but that's what I think happened.
Listen to me close.
I saw tear gas, I saw all kinds of shit.
And the Black Lives Matter, right away. Tear gas, this, that, guns.
Oh, we got tear gas.
It took them until the fucking last hour before they started bombing with tear gas after they had already got into the Congress.
Yeah.
Why
Okay,
did it
but-
take so long?
Okay, what's the first word you say in your statement?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Okay, say it again.
No, that's my point though, Danny. That is my point.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
my
clear as
point.
day.
But
So evident.
That's how it's been forever.
But that's
So-
the point I am trying to make. This
But
is
there has to
why
be
I
change.
am as pissed off as I am.
Great.
Because I am sitting there watching this shit, and I've sat there and watched every single fucking protest for every black man that got shot, and I watched the cops go in there violently.
You know what's sad, Danny? Because I have
watched them
I have an Oriental friend who wrote the same thing I said. If those were black people, the stairs would. Not that I would have said sorry. He said if those were black people, those stairs would be full of blood. My Spanish friend said the same thing. It's not only black people who are seeing it because we've seen it. We've seen it over and over and over again, and we don't forget. And nobody could tell us otherwise what we saw. So there's no justification in what happened today that I didn't see. Sorry to say, if it was a white guy, a black guy, a Chinese guy storm that building and get his head knocked with a club and drag his ass to jail, and who would say he didn't deserve it? Because you have no business storming that building. Of any building on the land,
Well,
that's the last building you should be storming.
I agree with y'all 1,000% what you're saying, but to be just deadly realistic, when the stuff really hits the fan, really hits the fan, we don't stick together as a people. We just don't.
You're right.
Somebody will throw some money or throw something, throw some leg or throw whatever, and we'll lose focus every time. I done seen it. When stuff hits the fan with the other side of the fence, they usually stick together or make secret deals behind secret deals, and you think that you're getting ahead, and actually they put you 2 or 3 steps behind. That's just the way of the world. We ain't never, ever going to catch up. We just 400 years is too much space. That's like
I can't think like that, Danny. I'm sorry, but
I'm just telling you,
think like that, we're saying we give up.
I'm not saying I give up. I'm just saying
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying we as a people. If we talk like that, we might as well just say we give up.
But if you're in a 100-yard dash and somebody put the front person 60 yards, you start at the start line, how are you going to win? There ain't no way.
No, I get everything you're saying, Danny. But if you're gonna have the same energy, listen. When the Black Lives Matter, I don't remember which one it was, but I could show you the picture. I have it up here. They have, before the rally even started, they had the riot squad. They had the National Guard there. They have been threatening to go to the Capitol for 2 weeks. Why was nobody there?
Because the head man made it that way. He told them, look, we're gonna have lax whatever. Because any other person who you think gonna be able that's supposed to be the most secure, one of the most secure places in the world.
Yep.
If they didn't get the order or some kind of signal saying, hey,
let him in.
Disregard this or do this, do you think they're gonna get in? He wasn't scared. Trump was, in my opinion, he was never scared of getting hurt or anything because I think it was pre-planned.
And I will say this, because they talked about calling in the National Guard, right? But they had to call in, and I don't know which state it was, but they had to call in a different National Guard because there's a National Guard that Trump does control. But they also said that there's one that he doesn't. So why the hell were they not there? Because it's a bunch of Confederate racist ass white people that were down there doing this shit. Because the minute a bunch of black people rallied in front of that Congress, you can believe those batons.
One phone call, there would have been helicopters, you name it,
bro.
They would have been all over there,
bro. And to me, out of all the things that happened, that's the one thing that has been pissing me off all day. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this just goes to show you that Trump is a fucking racist. I don't care what anybody else wants to say to me. They can fucking argue until their mouth or their mind is satisfied. There's nothing you can tell me. Absolutely nothing. When you're going to see man in the fucking Congress with Confederate flags and you're going to call them patriots? Fuck you. You're a racist bitch. You're a racist son of a bitch. Fuck you. And that's how it is, man. And like I said, I mean, there may be some Trump supporters that follow me, and they may subscribe to me.
Let me get my likeness up here.
and if that's the case, I don't care, because at the end of the day, man, that's how I feel about it. That's what I was seeing when I was watching it. I'm in Canada. You can understand. I am in Canada, and I'm sitting there enraged. It has nothing to do with me.
Canada.
It has nothing to do with me. The three of us on top here has nothing to do with us.
That was good. That was good reality TV, eh?
Absolutely.
Yo, the way I was talking to my boy, and he goes, "Yo, you won't believe what just happened. Lockdown." I go, "What? Quebec? Lockdown Quebec?" He goes, "No, the White House." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, man, they stormed the White House." I'm like,
"What y'all ain't gonna do? Y'all ain't gonna sit up here and make jokes about this."
Tell him, Monzo.
I think we actually will, bro, because
this is Canada's show.
Films on all three of y'all.
This was like some Listen, they fucking said
we didn't do it. We just watched it.
You know, I can guarantee you that all that Cobra Kai shit, no one's binge watching Cobra Kai today. They're stuck on the news, bro.
It was like the last year's final episode today.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what, Anzo? I watch CTV because we're getting the Canadian perspective. So there's no CNN bias. There's no Fox bias. It's Canadian facts, right?
I listen to several different networks here, and they are
they're all enraged.
They seem to be pro Biden.
Well, after this, you have to be. He incited this shit.
Do you think it's pro Biden, or it's just the fact that
anti-Trump?
It's not even that. It's that the country as a whole looked terrible, man.
Yeah.
That event made America look bad.
It made you forget about the phone call.
Exactly.
Like Danny said, he's a magician, man. I bet you if I start a riot over here, we'll forget about that phone call to Georgia.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that phone call is pretty much incriminating. It's pretty much him saying, "You need to find me the votes. You need to find."
That's a new kind of politics.
And I just wanted to say something with Tim. Tim told me, the guy that I was watching, said not to follow him. He's a communist. And listen, I don't know if he's a communist or not. I've never heard that shit from him.
Biden?
No. The guy that I told you about, Bosch, that I was following.
Okay.
Right? Says here I don't know if he's a communist. I never heard that from him. But I do hear facts from him. Sorry, Danny, just let me say. The first thing he said was when he was watching this, he said exactly what I said. He said, if those were black people out there right now, they'd all be dead.
But one thing about other people, not American, they know our history. Some of them know it better than we do.
That's facts. What Danny just said, man. 100%. Yeah.
So
this one guy from Australia, this white guy said, I don't remember his name, but what he said was, there's a purpose in keeping black people divided, because if they were to get together, it would be a scary place because they would have so much power. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So keep them divided, keep them fighting each other, keep them robbing each other, and this way we could move on.
Because
it would be better, but we just don't have the numbers.
But hold on. And before you go, G, one more thing. You guys do realize that white people are the minority, right? If you count black people, Asian people, if you put all the non-white people together, white people are the minority, not us. And that's what they're scared of. That is what they're scared of. It's the same thing here in Quebec. The French people here are the minority, and they put their laws in so that they can protect their French language. This is why we cannot have, Danny, we cannot have signs in English. All our store signs are absolutely French.
No,
They
French
had-
and English. The English has to be smaller than the
small.
French.
But some people don't even bother put the English on it because it's like has to be like, you know what I mean?
But it's,
You know what's double standard?
It's changed a lot though. It's not
Here it's double standard. This is how it's double standard. You have to be bilingual to get a job here. If you're English and you don't speak French, you're not hired. If you're French and you don't speak English, you're promoted.
It depends where.
And you get paid more.
More or less
Depends
everywhere.
where. That shit
It's
wouldn't
not.
fly
It's
in my
not.
business.
It's not. No, it's not as bad as it used to be. I agree. I understand what you guys are saying. It's not as bad as it used to be. And here's where here's where I come in. All right. This is like I'm. You might not like what I have to say, but it's a reality. There's a history behind this province, right?
No, I know the history. They have every right to put it that way.
The reality is the British fucked up. The
Mhm.
British gave way too much rights after they beat the French.
Mhm.
They gave them rights. They gave them their land. They gave them the churches. They allowed them to have their churches, which governed everything. That was the mistake. They should have imposed the same laws across the board as the rest of Canada.
But not
But
only
they
that,
didn't.
the
But
English humiliated them.
Exactly.
Humiliated them.
Absolutely.
And that's why they want to keep their language. And I don't blame them.
And I don't
Don't
blame them for
enforce
that
it on
too.
everybody.
No, it's not a question of enforcing. It's a question of, it's they have a complex and inferiority. They want to try to hold on to something that is not going to work. And a lot of people today, a lot of the people that are leaving this province today are not the English, are not the allophones. They're their own French-speaking Quebecers that know they cannot get work here because they're saying, with French only, the doors are, I only have one door to pass. But you learn English, which is the world's commerce language. You can go anywhere. You can go to Europe. You can go that.
That is correct.
And that's what a lot of people are realizing. And the thing that pissed me off most recently is that during this fucking pandemic, the fucking government we have in place now put in so many millions of dollars to the language police to go and find businesses that weren't respecting the laws of signage, while half the fucking restaurants are closed off, already going bankrupt, and now they have to do this. Why not put that money into the healthcare system, the nurses that are pulling triples, quadruple shifts, that they were removed the ability to take their freaking vacation during all this, right? Talk about backwards. This province has been backwards from a long time. And people are starting to wake up. And a lot of these people that are waking up, you're just hearing this because of the politicians that are in power. But a lot of those people, like French people, are not the ones that, that were back when in the day. You know what I mean? A lot of them have woken up because the generation that's there, the majority learned how to speak English because they realized that that's the only way they will ever thrive.
Yes, but here in Quebec, it is French. And like Roberto said, there's certain jobs, if you don't speak French, you cannot get. And not only that, if you do speak French, they pay you more for the same job that an English person is doing.
Absolutely. And they should. If you can speak both languages properly.
No. I'm talking about someone who just speaks French. Get paid more than someone that speaks English. I am telling you because I worked at a bunch of places like that.
Yeah, and I believe you. I'm not saying
you speak French, Anzo?
No, and that's what I'm saying. I have worked. Tell us.
I do.
Maybe
I'm ignorant because
how
it worked. How it works?
I mean, we got.
They're supposed to service us in our language because you're the employer. I'm the customer. You have the requirements of being bilingual as an employee, not me as a customer.
Right.
So when I come to you and I speak English and you only speak to me in French, how is that right?
Absolutely.
Who can I complain to?
Absolutely.
That's why you get this ignorance. That's why this ignorance starts.
Then you have Danny, so that you know. Then you have people, right? Like Roberto just said, he'll come up to you like a situation. You go up to a person working at a store. You only speak to them in English, and today, the majority of us only speak to you in French, but he understands you.
Yeah,
you understand him, but you're speaking to that person in English, and he's answering to you in French, but you understand each other.
That's how it works here.
Well, no, but it's 2020, okay, guys. Let me tell you something right now. I don't blame freaking someone someone shouldn't get paid more just because you speak another language. We have plenty of technology right now that can translate for you on a dime while the person is still speaking. And you can speak to me in French. I don't know a lick of French. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll have the yeah, sure. Yes, please. Thank you. No, you shouldn't be having a problem, even if you can't speak the language. Not today. Now, maybe 50 years, 20 years ago, I'd agree with you, but not today.
Listen,
I want a hamburger.
And thanks. I know what omelette du fromage means. Okay.
Listen, we all like this woman just passed recently, actually, right before the new year. She was a family that came from a very French speaking part of Quebec, right? And thanks to her, right? She used to take care of me when my mom worked, and that's why I picked up the French as well as I did. And being around them and stuff, there was a lot of conversation about, the French language, their culture, premature culture, but it's still a culture. I was able to do that. And for me, I understand. That's why, I go into a place and whatever the person talks to me, I just speak it. Right. And I get
so you know French too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a hamburger in French.
Let me just say,
Je veux un hamburger. Je veux un hamburger.
I was like the Pink Panther. Hamburger.
What is that? A Parisian translation?
Hamburger.
That sounds like you're getting the Paris version.
Here
in Quebec, je veux un petit burger, tabarnak. Je veux mon burger.
Yeah, they don't even speak proper French here.
No,
it's Quebec slang French, which they don't even like people talking like that.
This what Alzo say. Where is the weed? It says Quebec U.S.B. That sounds right.
Something you're speaking African.
Wait. Anzo, do you know French at all? Does anybody here know French?
Yeah,
I know French.
All right.
You
go to the store and speak French. He says no.
Does that sound right?
He's not giving himself more to doubt. He knows how to.
You should love this one then.
Endgame était le pire film que j'ai jamais vu.
What the hell?
What was that? Say it again.
Was that Give Me Perfume I Never Saw?
Endgame était le pire film que j'ai jamais vu.
Oh my God, Endgame was the worst film I ever saw.
What did he say about Endgame?
The worst movie he ever saw.
Endgame was the worst movie I have ever seen.
Endgame était le pire film que j'ai jamais vu.
Say the Phantom Zone in French. Say the Phantom Zone in French.
La zone de fantôme.
The Zone de Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
French, more or less, you can reverse everything, Danny, and you're fluent.
LDG to the Phantom Zone.
Good Québécois would be kiss son cul dans zone fantôme.
S'il te plaît, ne m'étonne pas.
Lui dans Phantom Zone, esti.
Ça se peut pas, man. Je peux plus.
Envoyer LDG à la zone fantôme. That sound right?
Yep.
Danny, could I tell you my little encounter with my French Canadian public lawyer?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do my best skit. Okay. He walks in and he goes, "Okay, my friend, when you hit the guy, did you hit the guy with the hand tension to do the earth?"
What the hell?
That's how you speak. Hey, my friend.
They're speaking English to us, huh?
In Quebec,
we're all going to jail. They take out the H's, they take out all kinds of letters. They just butcher our language, and they look at us like we're supposed to understand.
So he don't say hit, he say it.
It. When you hit the guy, did you hit the guy with the hand tension to do the earth?
Yeah.
We're going to jail, man. We're going to
showed
jail.
Anzo a video last night.
I
think it was the only time that Anzo laughed about anything that had to do with Trump.
Oh my God. You know what? I am going to show that.
You gonna show it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put this on last night, dude. It was funny as hell.
Oh my God. I am going to show it. I did put it on my Facebook. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
So this is a recreation of when Trump was talking to that one Asian reporter, and he insulted the hell out of her. You remember that?
Call it
So
China.
just the context, what you're about to see.
Yeah.
So
I got it.
funny. You don't like it.
This shit is
got
freaking hilarious, dude.
Oh my god, this shit was so funny. I laughed my ass off.
Can you share the audio? Because if not, I can just put it up.
Yeah,
real quick.
no, I got it. I got it.
The U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing. Why does that matter? Why global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
I gotta tell you something and you're not gonna like it. No. Who next?
Man, I tell you something you not like.
Oh, shit.
Hey, listen.
Fuck up. All right.
No, fuck up, man.
You talk too much, man. You at the back. Come on.
I have two questions.
Keisha, see you go there? Use it.
You call
You gotta look on your profile picture on WhatsApp and that's why it call you.
Sorry, I just.
And I just come. All right.
I'm fucking crying, man. I'm fucking crying.
Who called you? Sit
I don't know how we found that last night. We were just clicking around. We were chilling in my backstage, hanging out. I'm
Find this thing here, sir.
What the hell is this?
Oh
and
my
clicked
God.
it.
I was dying when I
Thank
seen
you.
that.
Thank you, Enzo. I needed that, man.
Oh my god. My white face is molten, man. Me I cry like a baby.
Oh, I was dying when I seen that, man.
Come to this bitch. I talk too much.
I feel the back side of my hand.
Oh shit, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I didn't see that shit on Facebook, man.
I posted it like last night. As soon as I finished off, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning each day. I was like, oh shit, I gotta post this shit. And I posted that shit was hilarious, bro. You know. We are going on the 2.5 hour mark.
Railing it.
Oh
yeah.
Are you guys ready to go? Or are you gonna continue? It's up to you guys.
Man, I just gotta say I love you all, man. You know what? If
yeah, I gotta be up early tomorrow for whatever reason too, yo.
If the world was like, you know, how we talk to each other in this panel with respect, you know, it'd be a better place. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
100.
Absolutely.
As they say in the House of Commons.
Yeah.
I'm
here.
I'm going to be helping Anzo to see if we can get the algorithm to like this show a little bit more.
Absolutely. As soon as we're done.
People. Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Roberto sounds like GFP.
100.
Hit the guy.
When I hit that guy, I hit him good. I knock him out.
When I get into the octagon.
Because you have to pick up your octaves when you do that accent, right? Because if you don't, it don't sound right.
I can't raise my balls that high. I don't know.
Now I tell you, my god family is Jamaican. So when I was growing up, and as a matter of fact, I literally just spoke to my godmother the other day. She called out of nowhere. I haven't talked to her in like a couple of years.
Nice.
Yeah, and she wants to she's getting in technology. We want to have a Zoom meeting, and because they live up in New Hampshire, where before I moved to Florida, we were all up in New Hampshire. We're gonna get together on a Zoom meeting, her and seeing Oral and the whole God family, because I was close with all of them. But since my family was working so much, they looked after me a lot, and basically partially raised me straight up. And listening to their accent and how they spoke English in their own language, I had to have a very fine ear. But let me tell you something. When Grandmama talked, even I couldn't fucking follow that shit. But I tell you what, though, I didn't need to understand when I knew she was telling me to get your fucking ass here right now before I freaking whoop it to fucking oblivion.
Absolutely.
It's crazy how grandmothers, right, when they just rip the language, it's just insane. It's like
I don't know if it's cultural with Jamaicans or not, but the grandparents, they're fucking law. They are law. Hands down.
Absolutely.
Even the mother, even Jackie, hands down the law.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Roberto could tell you from that hands down, right?
You always hear grandma.
Yeah.
You always hear her. You don't say what? What? You're getting something thrown at you, man.
Well, because in like more of a how do you say this? Like in a white family, the older you get, it's almost like you kind of take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
You get less authoritative. You get less in your face. Not this situation, bro. It's like she gets harder and harder. Y'all have the ass on the bucket. Okay, I'm here. Sorry, my fault. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these guys, grandma, they ain't play with her, man. You know what I mean? Nobody could play with grandma.
It's so funny, you know. So I'm just looking. I got this pop up here on Facebook when it says when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That was May 29, 2020, responding to Black Lives Matters. And then it says, "Go home. We love you. You're very special. I know how you feel." And that was today.
Absolutely.
There's two different perspectives.
Absolutely. And look, I was bro, I was the first one to post that. I was the first one to post that. I've been watching posts all day. I was the first one to post when the looting starts, the shooting starts, and now it's everywhere. Even this girl on my post, she's posted the exact same thing I said. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. Where's that energy now? That's exactly what I said. Oh yeah, she's put it here. Anzo Hodges had to steal that. So damn relevant in today's events. Not a problem. You're more than welcome to. You know what I mean? But with that being said, guys, we will be closing it up. I told you it was going to be a fire fucking show today, and it was a fire show. I appreciate you guys.
Danny out of retirement.
Yeah, Danny, what's happening with the show, man? I'm falling into a little more depression now. Another thing taken away from me.
I'm trying to relax, man, but somebody keeps
working.
Damn shows on.
They keep pulling you back, huh?
Pulling me back in, man, like fucking crackhead.
You're loved, man. You're loved, man. You're good at what you do. You're loved.
I appreciate it.
You got to get the Danny fix.
You know you're loving it, Danny. Danny can't stay away, man.
I had your back.
It's hard.
I had your back before, Danny. I had your back.
It's hard.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
The fact,
no, honestly, that's why I forgot the show on Wednesday, because we didn't do that show on Saturday. I had no fucking clue what day it was.
And then you text me and you're like, "Oh, you said we weren't doing the show," and I was like, "No, I didn't. I didn't say that."
Because of that was Saturday, right?
Yeah, it was the Saturday. Yeah, I was like, "No, you didn't." But
I might have to come back a little bit early, man, because now the NBA back, man. Y'all see Steph Curry?
Oh, here we go. I was so surprised.
I'm not saying that about Golden State. I'm just saying he broke a record, man. That's all I'm saying.
And I was expecting to get a text from Danny with some kind of Steph Curry shit, and I didn't have it. Okay. But I
tell you, man, I'm trying to chill, bro.
Yeah, I say this, but it feels good to know that I start a topic and Danny has to come on, and that means that the topics are fire. When Daddy's chilling at home and he's sitting there watching, and he said, "Man, I got to get in on that," then I know my topics are fire.
That's 3 times.
Yes.
Wait.
At least what
Here goes Caleb with his pum pums.
Next week, I can do it no more.
Yo, what happened? Hey, listen, I missed 1 week, and where's my boy? What's his name again? Can't believe I forgot him.
Caleb?
Man,
always calling me out on the Redskins, man.
Man.
I thought we were talking about.
I think it's Caleb or either Flash.
Flash.
Flash is not here today.
Flash? No? Oh, Flash Thompson?
No,
yeah.
Flash was here.
Flash.
He was here.
Flash is my boy. I didn't see nothing.
I
didn't get no Redskin questions.
Maybe I didn't see.
No, he's not here today.
No, Flash wasn't.
I was looking forward to seeing Flash.
See Ghost.
Caleb was here, but not Flash.
Dandy Luff.
Caleb, you get love too. Y'all get love. Y'all get love, yo.
Absolutely.
Caleb beat the Clippers. Caleb.
Yeah, I know.
Who, me?
Clippers look out of whack.
Who do you think will be going to the Super Bowl? I don't even know that, bro.
You can see the Bears there, man. I'm telling you. The Bears are going to claim it upside. Bears are winning it all.
Well, maybe we'll
be careful of those Bills, yo. Be careful of those Bills. They're fucking.
And you see what Dandelion Fluff act shoot, Anza?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't sure.
Tampa Bay. Come on the show sometime. Absolutely. You have my Twitter. You have the number. You can text me. We're doing it next weekend, next Wednesday. If you want to come on, not a problem.
Hold on. Let me get some of that love right there to you.
That's gonna be 4 Canadians on one show.
There you go, Ghostfire. There you go, Ghostfire.
I'm actually part Canadian.
There you go. But absolutely.
And from Quebec too.
Oh wow.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
my grandmother from my mother's side. Yeah.
Have you had a Putin?
He has.
Okay, you're there.
He has. I think I asked you that question before, right?
Wait, had you had a beaver tail?
Well, I'm sorry, beaver tail.
Have you had a beaver tail?
Like
not that I know of.
Okay, you're almost there. Next time you come up here,
if you had a,
have I eaten beaver tail? No, I haven't. No. What was the other one though? I've had beaver, but we're not talking about the same animal.
You ever had churro? That's some American humor on a Canadian.
Okay.
A churro.
Oh yeah, churro.
That's the weak version of a beaver tail.
Yeah, beaver tail. That's delicious.
Yeah, man.
I just looked it up right now. It does look actually pretty good. I don't know. The only thing I'm afraid of is liver, Rocky Mountain oysters, and cow tongue.
You're safe.
I agree with you on every single thing you just said.
You're safe. Don't worry. You're not going to get any of those over here.
So, yes, Dandelion next weekend, next Wednesday. If you want to come on, absolutely. You are absolutely welcome.
And Alzo don't eat any Canadian, any seafoods. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Oh, hell no. I don't want to eat it if it smells like fish.
Shrimp is delicious.
Caleb, if it smells like fish, do not eat the pom pom.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's Caleb with that one? That was like an introduction.
Oh, Caleb had something here. I seen something. Here we go.
Yeah, he said it. That's why I said
that. Melanie Trump's plastic surgery.
What do you say? Ready to move to Canada so I can get some fresh pom pom and not no nuclear American pom.
What is wrong with you, man?
This guy kills me, man. He kills me. He fucking kills me every time.
Oh my God.
Shifty Jizzle said KFC chicken livers are good. I sent Anzo a picture Sunday of a KFC where I live at. It was wrapped around the building.
Oh, yeah, you did.
No, I can't take KFC, man. 90s KFC?
Liver.
Yes.
Yeah, you got liver.
KFC.
We got KFC
liver up here.
Hold on, KFC has liver?
Liver like gizzards?
Oh, yeah, chicken gizzards.
Yeah,
Kentucky Fried. Wow,
that must be something. Localized because not here. We don't have any of that.
It is.
Well, some KFC are different because most of them like the drive-through, you can sit in and eat in order. But we have some here where it's like a buffet. They have.
There were a couple buffets. We had one KFC buffet. It was pretty good.
Wow.
Buffet.
None of that up here.
We actually have a Pizza Hut.
Sunday at the church, you can't even get there, buddy.
Yeah, we had the Pizza Hut buffet here as well.
Yeah.
Didn't last long.
No.
Just
like the Madonna's pizza.
But it was good. I actually enjoyed it.
Pizza have that cinnamon pizza. You ever had that?
Right. Do you guys
cinnamon pizza?
Like the apple cinnamon pizza. That's the dessert pizza.
No.
You have like apple and cinnamon.
Yes.
I've had the.
Don't knock it.
I've had.
Oh, if it's
pizza, that was pretty good. Instead of tomato sauce, they have hot sauce, like buffalo sauce instead of tomato sauce with hot chicken wing meat. Oh, that was.
You guys are making me fucking.
But we got a place called CC's. You guys have CC's?
No, CC's. No.
Hey,
it's like $5.
CC's pizza. Yeah, CC pizza is awesome, buddy.
It's like $5-6, all you can eat. But their pizza is effing like square toppings, like little. The pepperonis are little square.
It's kind of like
processed pizza. It's horrible.
You ever heard of Basco Robbins?
Pizza? Basco Robbins ice cream place, right?
Yeah, it's like the Basco Robbins of pizza.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You know, like Basco Robbins got 31
pizza.
flavors.
Yeah.
It got like 31 flavors of fucking pizza. I mean,
I
want banana and cheese or whatever, all kind of food shit.
I think I might have eaten at that place in Florida.
Yeah, it's in Florida all over the place. CC's cheap, but I'm telling you, it is like cheap pizza though. It's not. Don't expect no hand toss oven brick, real New York style pizza.
You gotta
no.
You gotta check.
Do not expect that.
I've had
sorry, I like my pepperonis round.
I've had a place still run it at nighttime, Anza?
What's that?
They still let y'all like the Uber stuff still come, or they close that down too?
That I don't know. You know,
it's still open. Apparently, they haven't closed it yet. It hasn't
but with the lockdown, so for the Americans that don't know, we here in Quebec are being locked down. So from 8 p.m. starting Saturday till 5 a.m. Till 5 a.m. I heard 5.
It's 5.
Really?
Yeah,
5 a.m. We are locked down, so we are not allowed.
So what's the penalty if you get caught?
$3,000 to $6,000.
$3,000?
$3,000 to $6,000.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. So the only thing you can get over there is a medical emergency, like if you.
Yes, or if you work for essential services.
Jesus. Just had a Mac attack, guys. Mac attack.
So if you work at any security, healthcare, or grocery stores, you're considered essential service and transportation. So you're allowed. Your employer has to give you a piece of paper that says that you are. So if you're pulled over, you have to show them that piece of paper and proof. It's like a proof of employment, right?
Yeah. So I bet you it's fired if you one of the people that can work from home. At least you won't lose your income.
Actually, it's any company. They said that any company that can give their employees the ability to work from home must let them work.
Right.
But so how is that? That's not going to cause problem with like your retail places because they're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah,
exactly. And my daughter just got a job at a retail store, so she's going to probably not be able to work until all this is over.
Our supermarkets and stuff like that close at 7:30.
Yeah,
every day 7:30.
Shoot, if that was to happen here, I guarantee you couldn't find a loaf of bread or bologna nowhere in the store, boy.
To be honest with you, I have a feeling that that's going to end up happening.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
We had that toilet paper scare a while back, and then the wipes.
Yeah,
anywhere.
It's not going to happen. Because
no. Let me explain. I went to Esposito today to go buy my meats, which I always do, and their fucking meats were done. They were done, bro. And I went to Provigo. After that, their meat section
on Sherbrooke.
Done.
On Sherbrooke?
On Monklin.
On Monklin?
Yeah.
That's fine, man. All those paranoid Jewish people that live around there, man. They're gonna start flying everything.
Man, you know I love you, man, but I gotta make this joke. Well, how about this thing get locked down and you run out of a certain supply? What you gonna do, bro?
Bro, I'm always First off, I got like 10 bottles. I got like 10 bottles in my cabinet right there.
I would hate to be in that house. I would hate to be in that house. That shit run out, boy.
Hold on.
Here he comes.
Clink, 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 clink. I had a feeling you were going there, Danny.
I couldn't help it, man.
I knew you were going there. I saw you like quivering in that chair going, should I ask? Gonna ask it. Yeah, I gotta ask it.
I got over 10 bottles like this.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So I am good. Not only that, even though we are locked down, the two things you can still get is alcohol and weed. They are not closing down those.
Those are called essentials.
What you gonna do? You get the munchies and the grocery store closed.
If I get the munchies, all right, man. I'll have munchies. I can find something, bro. I can find something.
That's in another cabinet.
I can find something. If I got to munch on some bread and cheese, I'm good.
What you eating? Crackers.
Some crackers, damn right. You know, I'm gonna have some chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna make sure I have some chips up in there. You know, sometimes you guys be hearing me. I'll be backstage. Others, she's like, "What are you doing?" Because I'm eating some chips. because those munchies kick the fuck in. And grab that bag of chips, bro.
So let me get this right. Y'all telling me that they're closing down all the other non-essential stuff, but they're leaving over the dispensary and the damn liquor store? How the hell is that essential?
Because
you don't become more
backwards.
Because the government controls it, right?
Damn.
So the SAQ, which is our alcohol store, is government. So you cannot buy a bottle of strong alcohol, Crown or anything like that, other than from a government store. Same thing with the weed. Yeah. You can buy beer, you could buy wine at a debonair, right? I could go to debonair, I could buy beer, I could buy wine. But when it comes to the hard liquor, you can only buy that at the government store.
And to translate debonair, it's like your corner store.
Yeah.
Can y'all order it
7-Eleven.
from out of country?
No.
Or if you come visit, say you come visit to America, you can't bring it back across the border?
We get taxed.
You get taxed.
Duties.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Even if it's like enough personal use?
Yeah.
Like
Bro,
one bottle.
You know what we used to do?
It depends how long you stay in the States, I think.
That is correct too. But you still have to pay something unless you're staying, like if you're there like a week or something, you have a certain amount of things you can bring back. But Danny, and these guys could tell you, these two, you know what we used to do? When we used to go to Plattsburgh, right? We would stock up on alcohol and throw them in Sprite bottles. Because you're not paying the same amount of duties on groceries that you are with
or you don't pay anything.
Anything, exactly. So you would buy a bottle of Crown and put in a Sprite bottle because it's green.
Shit, I know some of them would daggone like take shampoo bottles and pour it out and clean it out good and pour the shit in there.
I wouldn't do a shampoo bottle because
that shit tastes so good.
I'm saying you gotta clean it out.
Yeah,
for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Motherfucker keeps foaming up. What the hell's wrong with it?
Right.
Well, he's gone.
Because you can't bring liquor on a cruise ship. Shoot, man. I know some of my boys do that shit all the time. Okay,
So-
they want to know. You can't even bring sodas on that.
You can't bring sodas. Okay.
Unless you carry it. Because like we put on, when we were told that you could put it in your carry-on. Shit, I had a root beer in my carry-on and shit. When I got to the room, a nice little note. Oh, we took this. Sorry. So that motherfucker said on the brochure I could bring it in the thing, but you can only carry.
So
like
wait, hold on. They went in your room and took it? But they went
in your bags, man.
Oh, okay. They took it from your bags. Okay, when they check your bags. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you go on a cruise ship, man, it's real tight, buddy. They check all your stuff, and if you got something crazy, you ain't getting on that boat.
So they make you feel like you're guilty. Same kind of shit they do at the airport, you know.
Shoot, people chomping at the bit to go on the cruise now. I'm ready to go.
Yo, and
never again.
Well, and we'll get into that because I was going to say about flights and everything, but we'll get into that next week when we do the 2020.
Cool, we all can meet up and go on a cruise, but somebody's scared. 2 people scared.
Scared? I ain't scared to cruise.
I had a bad experience. I ain't never going back out there again, yo.
Oh,
yeah, that's really have to discuss that.
So I don't know.
Last year I went to Mexico, man. Hot, beautiful. Had a good time, man.
I'll fly there.
I go on a cruise. I don't know what flying. Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, you go on a cruise, so you experience what I did. You ain't flying or cruising. Trust me.
What you got? Seasick or something?
Sorry?
Yeah. What happened?
Seasick or something?
Do you remember back in the day when Florida had that frost thing there? The temperatures went really low.
Oh, yes.
Their crops went bad and everything.
Yeah, orange juice went skyrocketed. The price of that, yeah.
A friend of ours got married on a cruise line, and this was around February. And we did St. Kitts, the French Caribbean, Turks and Caicos. When we were out to sea, Danny, I remember I went upstairs to get pizza and nobody was there, you know? The rain was coming down sideways. And I was like, damn, this shit's like Cuba. And as I'm walking to the pizza, I look at the swimming pool, and it was one body of water, and it was moving like this. I see the bottom of the pool. I see the bottom of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
I almost fainted, man. I never seen anything like that in my life. I was literally walking sideways because the boat was leaning from
rocking the.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm telling you, I didn't walk straight for 2 weeks, man.
I think I.
Some
I
people
think
can't
I know
take
what
it, but
happened.
I never had motion sickness like that. But some people can't.
A lot of people had this Band-Aid, like this little circular Band-Aid behind their ear, and
You
supposedly
can
that.
you can get something else to my wife to get all the time. It comes in a little tube like that. I can't think what's the name of that shit.
You go on a cruise without that stuff, you literally feel you're walking like this for about a week.
Oh yeah,
because you're fighting the resistance of the boat keeping its balance, right?
Well, that's some of the best food I ever had. The best, because you ever heard of Guy Fieri, the famous chef?
Yeah, I think so.
He got the blonde, spiky hair, and he.
That guy who does all those fast food restaurant things.
Boy, I tell you, he got the best burger I ever had. That's what. If you go on Carnival Cruise, that's what they have, the Guy Fieri burger.
Now, you're gonna say something before I close it up?
Yeah, real quick. I think I know. I think I know what's got Trump. I think I know what Trump thinks he is.
Go ahead.
Make me big real quick.
Yep.
Oh hell!
I found Trump's secret. Ready for this, guys?
Ready.
I knew you were gonna do something that Philly.
You're good, man.
You should get Tony Stark. You should get Tony Stark body and put Biden.
We had did such a great show, but I am going to have to.
Saki be saying "fuck you" one day, Jarrell.
That's what it sounds like. You see, I was just gonna end the show on that, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys talk about your channels real quick before we go, because after this, I'm gonna talk to LG so that we can do some stuff so that we can try and get this out to a lot of people so that they can see it. I think this show was fire. I think we really discussed a lot of things today. And I also hope that people can see that we can discuss things and have a different opinion and still end up being like laughing and joking at the end. So
not personal. It's only an opinion.
Exactly. Just getting it off our chest. Danny, start it up, my friend.
I'm Danny, AKA Comment Chat. I pop on from time to time. Fantastic group of fellas. Always enjoy talking and getting different men, different countries, opinions and perspectives. It's many times in life that being in the profession that I am, people kind of shun from you, but I've never felt that way about any of y'all. I appreciate that because my friends here where I'm at are mainly cops. It's a defense mechanism. It's a comfort. It's a situation where I don't have to keep up my guard because we're kind of in the same war, so to speak. But when I'm with y'all guys, y'all make me feel like I don't have to worry about that, and it's much appreciated. So I appreciate the invite and the brotherhood and fellowship, and good show. One day when I retire, I'll be able to say what I really want to say, but I still have to gauge what I say, how I say, when I say. So
diplomatically correct.
And the good thing about it is we've had conversations, even though Danny can't say the things he wants to say. I know that Danny is on the same page as most of us here. So
that is true.
And like I said, man, when we know, especially me, when I know that you're trying to take a month off and you feel like you want to come in here, It's a humbling feeling. I appreciate
third
that.
Time, man. The third time.
Hey, bro, it's humbling, man. You know what I mean? Because it makes me feel like at least I'm doing something good, something right. So I appreciate that.
You brought the fire this week, bro.
Thank you. LDG, you are up, my friend.
I wouldn't mind being humbled sometime this week too if Danny would come into the waiting room, hang out with us for a little bit. But the waiting room isn't as fire as the O.O.C or any of the channels you're doing, brother. Love what you're doing, man, and we're definitely gonna do that. Hell yeah, man. We're gonna make the algorithm work for us. Speaking of which, comes to my first channel, guys, LDG Pixels. You have any computer issues? Seriously, any question. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. If you got an issue with your PC or your Mac, hit me up. I'll come help you out. Sometimes it's even simpler than what you think it is, and I might even have a better way of doing it. I've already helped a number of people, and I'm still tugging. On new Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica, where I do the waiting room, the stream between the streams, come hang out, have fun, open panels, open topics. We chill out. I promote those who deserve it. I had to kick you out, tell you to go watch them, and then come back after you guys after they're done. Stream for hours, so always check out whatever's happening in the waiting room. Today we had a great show, a lot of people on today. There was something else I was going to mention but totally forgot, but we had a great day today. Tonight 2:30 a.m. anybody who's watching the Death of Trek, the horrible shitstorm called Star Trek Discovery, tonight's the last episode. We'll be doing a early bird show at 2:30 a.m. and that's going to be on Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica. If you can't stay up that late, and you're going to bed here shortly, the official Death of Trek episode will be tomorrow about 3:30, which we'll rewatch the episode for everybody else who's actually awake. And then on Saturday, we do Watch Party for Married with Children. We're on season 4 right now. And coming up next week to replace after the last episode of Star Trek, we are going to be doing Z Nation, front to back, first episode to last. So join the fun. Make sure if you guys ain't watching any of these guys, if they're not on, you can guarantee that I am. Let's have some fun, guys. Thank you for having me on today.
Not a problem. Thank you for coming. Guys, don't cut this guy down here short, man. It's a great channel. He's doing a lot of good things. He deserves some subs as well. Gaishka, you are next, my friend.
Well, I'm Gaishka from the Basco Scenario. Like I said, my content is coming, boys. It gave me a little bit of pressure to get that intro video done this week. I'm going to see if I can do that. You can find me Mondays on Danny's Chaotic Conversation. You can also find me on Tuesday with the Chaos List with Anzo, Chris, and Danny. And Wednesday, you can find me on the O.O.C, of course, and as well as the Rule of 3 and much more things that we're working on for the future. So I am blessed to be able to share this time with you guys, the chat. And like I said, Anzo, thank you for having me, man.
Not a problem. And I want you as well, because we are going to start doing some shit on his channel, you know what I mean? And we're about to have some fun. Roberto, you are next.
Short and sweet, here and there. I can't say much more than that, right? You can see me here Wednesday, and I don't know when back on Danny's on Saturday until I get my shit running. That's how it is.
And we have to get your shit running. You've been on YouTube long enough, so we got to get you some shit going. Even if it's just a few videos out there, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're sitting down just talking. You could even do that. Do 5-minute videos. Like that's how you really get known. Like the live streaming is fine and shit, but when you get your videos going out there, 5-10 minute, not even 10 minutes, 5-minute video, whatever you want to get off your chest.
Those
why
can
don't
go
you
a long
secretly invite
way.
me over? Secretly invite me over. We'll destroy one of your bottles, and you'll show me how to do it.
And that was going to be a crazy 15-minute video.
Yes, indeed.
Anytime you're ready, brother. You just let me know, man.
Respect.
All right. With that being said, guys, everybody that was here watching, I do appreciate it. Hopefully we get new people watching after this, because we're going to do some shit to try and get this shit out to people. I do think it was a great show. I do appreciate the chat. Again, I do appreciate the panel, you guys coming to hang out with me. But with that being said, guys, we are out. Peace. Trying to find the outro. Here we go.